could not propel them to victory. They fall 104-102. Game 2 tomorrow night inside the Frost Bank Center at 8:30. Dallas Cowboys hosting veteran cornerback Adoree Jackson for a free agent visit. Jackson recorded 55 tackles and 1 pick last year with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, happy Tuesday if you could be happy Spurs fans after a Spurs loss last night, but we're happy you're here. This is the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix. Thanks for spending a little time with us.
It's Taco Tuesday.
It is, except they're not free today.
It is Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, that's right. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
There you go. And for whatever reason, I just saw this on Twitter, if this is helpful to you, but TSA tweeted out, don't need to know who needs to hear this today, but yes, you can bring tacos through airport security.
All right. Well, that's good to know, I guess.
Uh-huh. Could have used a taco.
Well, and then again.
Could have used, I'm not a coffee drinker, but could have used some coffee this morning, too.
Yeah, it was a little late night last night. But, dude, look, I know everybody's disappointed, but that was one hell of a basketball game last night.
It was.
I mean, my gosh, that was a good basketball game.
You look at last night's game, and we'll have all the reaction, and, of course, we want to hear from you. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Twitter, at Joe Reinagel 210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube through sasportstar.com, you can always comment there. You look at that game last night. 104-102 the final. We joked yesterday, first one to 100 wins. And, well, that proved to be accurate. A buddy of mine, Chip Ingram, who owns Rupub, texted me last night, when was the last time you saw 59-58 with 5 minutes left in the game? My response, 2005 NBA Finals against Detroit.
Yeah,
that's
about right. It did.
And it felt in the building last night. It had not quite Game 7 vibes to it, but the nervous energy inside the Frost Bank Center, the excitement level, all of that had that kind of feel of what we experienced back in the championship glory days. Last night, it was fun. It was a fun atmosphere, even though it wasn't one of those high-scoring games. It was one of those slugfest. That was a dogfight last night.
Well, I think what Spurs fans learned last night was what we were trying to tell them yesterday, that this is not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be an easy series. Minnesota is good. They match up well with the Spurs, and this is going to be a series, and it's going to be a fun series. And I think it's just and Spurs fans hopefully woke up a little bit to the fact that, this is the second round of the playoffs, and Minnesota's pretty damn good.
They are good. And let's start the show off with some good news.
All right.
Joe Reinagel won a bet yesterday with a listener. And I forget the dude's name that called up, but he bet you a beer that the Spurs were going to sweep this series.
Well, I don't remember his name either.
Hopefully he has the balls and he's man enough to call in and say, all right, Joe, you guys are at Novo on Wednesday. You're at Rupub on Friday. I'm showing up at one of those two, and I'm going to buy you a beer because I lost the bet. And Joe doesn't win a lot of these, so let the man celebrate.
Flight by Yingling, please. I'll take one of those. Now, I don't remember, and that's fine. But, I mean, I appreciate Spurs fans. And it's not just Spurs fans. It's Cowboy fans, Texan fans.
Sure,
it's any
fans.
fan. You think your team is that much better than everybody else. And maybe they are. And maybe that's the only game Minnesota wins in this series. I doubt it, but maybe it is. And I just think that you got to have some respect for the other team at some point in time and take your heart out of it. Minnesota's damn good. They're good, and they've got some players. They've got some talent, and look, this series, I may be wrong with the 6. I could see a 7-game series playing out here with the Spurs and the Timberwolves.
The glass half full, and I know there's a lot of blame game going around today, and social media last night, from Fire Mitch to De'Aaron Fox sucks to Wemby sucks to all of it. And look, Fox and Wemby,
Who said Wemby sucks?
Offensively, they were there. I mean, Guillermo right now on YouTube, this loss is on Wemby and Mitch. There is going to be that blame game. They weren't good offensively last night. Minnesota gets a lot of credit for that.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, great players have to figure that stuff out. And it's rare that Wemby and Fox are both off on the same night. We have said since the beginning of February, the way this team is developed, a guy can be off, the others will pick him up. Well, last night that didn't happen because you had your two best offensive players MIA on the offensive end. Now, Wemby might have summed it up the best. If they were making shots, it's completely different.
I think there was some good and some bad. And I think the bad was, as I said, not going to what we know, but I mean it's a lot on me because obviously my game wasn't feeling good tonight, and that's where the team is going to look for me, and if I had been better, if the offensive leaders of our team had been better, it would have been different. Huh? So basically, if everything was different, it would have been different.
Really?
That's awesome.
I mean, yep. A spot-on analysis.
Dude, if I win the lottery tonight, I'm going to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Look, both the defense that was played in that first half by both teams was an absolute clinic.
Mm-hmm.
It was an absolute clinic. Minnesota is a good defensive team. San Antonio is a good defensive team. And the defense that was being played in that first half especially, some of that carried over to the second half, but the first half was just a defensive clinic. And it was enjoyable to watch. It really was. And it was just it was amazing how both of these teams pride themselves in defense. And I think, look, a lot of the bad shooting is you just miss shots. I wish Wemby would not take 8 3-point shots. Uh-huh. I really do. And I've said that all year long. I wish he wouldn't do that. And get to the bucket a little bit more. Or do something else, because it just when it's not on, it's not on. Neither team shot well from the 3-point stripe last night. So I mean, it's hard to. I mean, Minnesota could say the same thing, man. If we were hitting shots, it'd have been different.
Yeah.
I mean, we can all say the same thing, right?
I mean, I'm glad the media kind of chuckled at that because, yeah, dude, you really just said that, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, and you're right. But it's rare that you're going to have both Wemby and Fox struggling the way they did. I mean, they combined for 21 points. They combined averaging for 42. And as poorly as the Spurs played last night, as poorly as it felt like they played last night, they had a chance to win it at the end.
They did.
They lost that game by 2. Now, when they were down 9, I mean, yeah, it's over, right? And that's typically what Minnesota does. They pull away late. The fact that the Spurs had a shot at the end. Now, we can argue that shot all day long. You can argue call a timeout, not call a timeout. I was totally fine with them not calling a timeout. I don't know that I would have taken that 3 when I see Devin Vassell cutting. I would have preferred the 2 and let's play 5 more minutes. But they went for the win.
Dude, Julian Champagny was wide open. There was nobody there.
Yeah, the flyby was there.
The flyby was there. He let him go, and then he had no one in front of him. I will take that shot every single game. So I have no issue with Mitch not calling a timeout there. They got the shot they wanted. It just didn't fall.
Yep.
And so I'll take that in game 2. I'll take it in 3, 4, and as long as the playoffs continue. So I've got no issue with that. What I'm going to give credit where credit is due, and the Spurs almost overcame it. Chris Finch, I think, if you're looking at it, and this is not disrespect to Mitch Johnson, Chris Finch is the better coach right now.
Yes.
Just because he's got more experience. And what he did on Wemby late in that game was genius. They bench Gobert.
Yeah.
They bench him. And you've got Julius Randle screening Wemby to create room for the T-Wolves drivers. And it worked. It worked tremendously. And I don't know how San Antonio is going to counter that, But to me, that was a genius move. Not only that, but benching Gobert because it took Wemby out of the paint. Because you got to follow Randall around. You got to follow Naz Reid around. Those guys can hit three-pointers. So last night, the coaching matchup was won by Chris Finch. What'll happen in game 2?
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You want to sound off frustration, blame game. You're still feeling pretty good about the Spurs. It's only one game. Game 2 tomorrow night. Is that a must-win? We'll dive into all of that coming up.
No, it's not.
Oh, come on.
Are you kidding me?
Come on. They can't go back to Minnesota down 0-2.
Of course they can.
Hey, Gabe, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Fellas, just a couple of takeaways from last night's game. Officiating, I think, was bad, but bad on both sides. I'm not saying it was favorable to either team. A lot of fouls caught, a lot of ticky-tack fouls at the very end of a very good defensive possession where they're kind of just bailing somebody out on both sides, not just Spurs. I thought so that was a factor in the game, kind of slowed it down a little bit. Obviously, the good defense. Steph Castle being in foul trouble. I hope he does a better job of staying out of foul trouble tomorrow because that kind of hurt us, I think, a little bit. They were just struggling. It was just an off game, but. Was Mitch Johnson, I don't know if he was asked after the game in the post-game presser, but you think if Mitch could do it again, or he was asked if he could do it again, would he take the timeout? I'll be quiet and listen.
The answer,
said no.
Yeah, the answer is absolutely not. He's not going to take that timeout. He liked everything that he saw there. In fact, on that final shot and the look by Champagne, he would take that every day.
Yeah, he just did a good job, obviously, with the sense of urgency. We were down, excuse me, and so we were trying to play quick because it was a math problem at some point in terms of possessions and time left and what the score was. And he had some great multiple efforts there to keep us in the game. We got some good looks, missed them. And offense rebounds has been an emphasis for us all year, but especially in those situations, you got to crash. And then on the last play, we got a rebound, and it felt like they weren't organized, and there was enough time for us to push the ball and get a look, and we didn't push it right away, so it got to be that death knock time where you got to call a timeout or not. I thought Dylan did a good job pushing the ball, kicked it ahead of Julian. Julian had a flyby, got a three-pointer in rhythm. I had no problem with the shot. That was a great shot. I hope he shoots it every time.
No, absolutely. But what he just said, we didn't push it in time. That was Wemby's fault.
Yep.
Wemby held on to the basketball for a second or two that cost them valuable time. He's got to get that ball up the floor. When he finally gets it to Harper, and Harper's hauling ass down the court, and he finds Champagne. So that was a Wemby problem at that point in time. But again, because I'm looking at it going, what are y'all going to do? I'm thinking they're going to call a timeout, and once they get it across the half court line, but they didn't, and they went on. And I thought the game was over when Champagne shot it. I thought there's no way he misses that shot.
It was a good look.
It was a beautiful look. It doesn't get any better than that.
And again, the only second guessing that I would do, and I'm totally fine with the way it played out. I'm good with no timeout. Seeing the missed shot, seeing Devin Vassell able to cut right in, nobody guarding him. A little pass there and an easy bunny, and, we're playing overtime. But that's armchair quarterbacking. I was fine with all of it, the way it played out. If I was to second guess and do something different, maybe go for two. And had they called a timeout, I mean, let's be honest. Mitch Johnson calls a timeout there. Now they're running a set play to who? Wemby? He was awful on the offensive end last night. De'Aaron Fox? He was awful on the offensive end last night.
Luke Cornett was awful last night, period.
What set play, who was going to be the guy to take that shot? Maybe Dylan Harper. He was great. But, I mean, if you're calling a timeout and allowing Minnesota's defense to set, and you're coming up with one play, one shot to win it, nobody really had a hot hand out there that you're confident that whatever they draw up is going to be any more successful than the wide-open shot that Champagne had. It was a good look.
No, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, honestly, he was wide open. He did a great job of letting the guy fly by him, and then there was nobody around him. And when he let that shot go, I thought for sure Spurs are going to win this thing. And boy, you talk about a different conversation today. It doesn't get any better. I mean, it just does not get any better than the look he had. So I've got no issue with no timeout there. They got what they wanted. The shot just didn't go down, and that happens sometimes. We're going to talk a lot of Spurs basketball. If you got a phone line, stay right there. If you want to get on the phone lines, you could do that. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Give us a call. Let us know what you thought of the game, what you thought the problems were, and where the Spurs need to look at in Game 2. We'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you need your logo on any kind of gear, any kind of promotional items, go see Sam over at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing on San Pedro. You need T-shirts, screen printed, Sam will get you taken care of. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom waiting for your logo. You need that logo on a golf shirt, a fishing shirt, a dress shirt. Sam will get you taken care of. He's got all the big name brands, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority. He even now carries a full line of Tommy Bahama. You need uniforms. Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries, restaurant, medical, construction, schools, leagues, and so many more. And if you are running a business, Sam does more than just uniforms. His sign shop can do signs, banners, flags, card magnets, vehicle wraps, window decals, and more. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. No order too big, no order too small, and of course, nobody has better prices. And Sam is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. Call 210-824-3900 or get into that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410 across from the McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com. for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for Window Nation. You know, May's weather is pretty nice, but those hot summer days are going to be here soon. Don't wait until the heat hits to try to avoid high energy bills. Upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows with new energy-efficient ones and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com now to book a consultation.
The NBA playoffs are finally here, and where are you going to get on the action? Underdog Fantasy. Of course, that is the place to play. Playing on Underdog is so easy. You pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on their stats. Points, rebounds, assists, you name it. Whatever it is, if your player does the right thing, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Thunder. This is a guy who's done it in the playoffs before. I expect him to keep it rolling this season. And of course, it's always fun to bet on Wemby higher on his blocks. That's been money in the bank. Download the app today. Use the promo code Alamo. Score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Alamo. Underdog. Make picks and win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Shot clock running down. Comes down to perhaps this. Off the heel. Rebound. Wemby. Inside goal. One time off of it. Charean step back for three. Off the side of the rim. Cannot get it to go. And Minnesota comes in on the road and steals game one.
I felt pretty solid. Yeah, that's all I got for it. Felt pretty solid. Missed a shot. On to the next one.
You're a heartbreaker, dream maker.
Boy, that's a perfect song for that, for what happened last night, without a doubt. I got the feeling, man, I mean, I was going to go nuts in my house.
Yep.
And I got the feeling the roof was going to be blown off the Frost Bank Center had Champagny knocked that shot down. It was just one of those games that was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and you say what you will, but both teams played extremely hard. They just play great defense, both of them.
And again, you heard the call there. Peacock, great job, Pledge, putting that together. Champagne's on to the next. I mean, and that's what shooters do. Make or miss league, he missed, Spurs lose. Had they won the game, you're right. The place would have gone nuts. And I know Spurs fans dragging this morning social media last night after the game. I don't know about you, but I couldn't go to bed anytime soon after that. I mean, your adrenaline is just going. Although it did feel like, at least for me, those final seconds took like 5 minutes. That whole play, the rebound, the outlet pass, it was like all in slow motion. And, man, if only the rest of the country, the majority of the country, would be able to see that because, it was on Peacock.
Do you think NBC, they got to be regretting that because the game they had was a dog on NBC. It was a dog. The Knicks blew the Sixers out of the water, and then you've got a nail-biter that comes down to the end. In the Spurs and the T-Wolves. If I'm at NBC, you got to be going, dude.
I mean, now granted, hindsight being 2020, you would have no idea. But last night's game might have been the best game of the postseason to this point.
Could be.
And it was relegated to Peacock.
Yeah.
Now, NBC made that decision along with the league. Every other game we're going to have doubleheaders. Wednesday night's a doubleheader. Tonight's game, it's the same staggered BS, and they're probably just hoping for better luck because that's what it boils down to. And I was reading a deal. The reason why NBC apparently doesn't want to go with the doubleheaders like everybody else, and you can appreciate that with your 25 years in television at the CBS affiliate. But in parts of the country, if they start it too early, that's digging into local programming, whether it's the news or after the news, shows like Access Hollywood, which are big money makers for the local affiliates.
Well, they are.
Because they own all the majority of the inventory in there. So those are big things for the local affiliates and, of course, your news. And that is why they went with the overlapping games instead of full doubleheaders on NBC.
There's a point to that, yes, and it is about money. And of course, local newscasts at 10 o'clock, which Channel 4 would have had to blown out last night.
And 6 and 7.
Well,
sure. If they would have started earlier in parts of the country, it would have wiped out their 6 o'clock local news.
Then why do you get the NBA package if you're NBC?
Because you have Peacock. And you're trying to sell subscriptions.
What I'm saying is you're also trying to help your local affiliate.
Well, see, and then what I was reading today, it would actually hurt the local affiliate, although maybe if you get into the sports business, that's the price of doing business because you have two great basketball games and luck of the draw, they can't determine the outcome of a game. But
they've got the Lakers and OKC tonight. Tell me what the outcome of that game's going to be.
It's going to be
like
a
the
blowout.
Knicks.
Yeah,
of course.
Well, I mean, and again, NBC last night, I'm sure Don Harris was sitting over there fielding call after call, and I'd be curious to see what the numbers are, how many people stayed with that game after halftime. Yet one of the best games of the postseason to this point came down to the final shot, and I can't wait to see what Peacock says the numbers are for that game.
Well,
it can't be near as good.
It will be interesting to see. I have no idea, but that first game was a dog. I even turned it off and was watching the Cardinals-Brewers while I was waiting for the Spurs game to start. So, look, it was not good. But, again, I hope everybody found a place to watch the game. If you weren't in the Frostbank Center, I hope you found a place to watch it or got it or whatever, however you did it. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. I mean, thoroughly. It was just an outstanding playoff basketball game, and it just, I don't know, just doesn't get any better than that.
And again, the only thing that would have been better had the Spurs ended up winning that thing.
If that shot goes down, are you kidding me?
Oh, my goodness. I mean,
this town would have gone nuts.
I mean, it wouldn't be Memorial Day miracle level, but it would be close.
No doubt.
It would be close. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Got a feeling today is going to be one of those therapy days.
Could be.
We're listening. You need to get it off your chest. This is the place to do it. Let's go to the phones. Adriel, you've been holding the longest, man. You're on the Blitz. What's up?
Okay, first of all, I'm not panicking, but I'm panicking, guys. No. Hey, so real quick, I pump the brakes. First of all, I know Jason. Sorry, I know we like to bang on Joe a lot, but I think Joe Reinagle has a high San Antonio Spurs basketball IQ.
Yeah,
he was right when he told everybody to pump the brakes, and I was telling my family the same thing, and they were all mad at me. But I had this feeling, right? So, just real quick, I'm gonna be efficient. So Wemby, I just wish, like I was saying yesterday, like at some point, if Coach Johnson would tell him, hey, trade me one of those threes for an easy bucket, just please, because he is 7'4", right? And I know. You could see it. They're playing him with small guys, right, so they can push him out, and that's good coaching on them. I would like to see an adjustment of Luke Cornett and Wemby on the floor at the same time, and maybe that will not be. They won't be able to push him out, and that'll get him some easy points in the paint. I really think it will if they played Luke and Wemby on the same. So I think we should look out for that next game. And then, just to my final point, I would say like the way Jason always says that Dak gets all the heat because he wears a star on the helmet. Like, I'm not being mean at all because that's not for me, but Fox has had one good game in 5 games, and he has a $230 million contract. So I think he's getting off the hook easy, like the way Josh Allen and them get. Dak gets all the heat, but I feel like Fox is due for some big games.
He is, and he had 2 really big games against Portland. Adriel, appreciate the phone call.
Appreciate it, Adriel.
And again, I'm seeing some comments right now on our YouTube feed. $250 million for 10 points. And when you make that kind of money and a trade is made and you're supposed to come in and be the guy, you can't have a game like you had last night if you're De'Aaron Fox. And, it's unfortunate that he wears jersey number 4.
Here we go!
But the superimposed photos I've seen of Dak Prescott's face on a De'Aaron Fox jersey is uncalled for.
Look, can I just say this? All right, I don't know where everybody it's De'Aaron's fault, it's Wemby's fault, it's Mitch Johnson's fault. There's another team out there.
No, that doesn't matter, Joe.
It does matter. That Minnesota team that nobody respected yesterday, talking on this show, nobody, went into San Antonio last night and played head-to-head and forced Wemby to be bad, De'Aaron Fox to be bad. I mean, they weren't just bad on their own. I mean, those guys make money too. I'm just saying, I still believe the Spurs will win this series. I think they're a better team overall. But look, at some point in time, you've got to give the other team a little bit of credit. And I mean, it can't just all be, well, De'Aaron Fox sucks. That's the problem. He had a bad game last night, but maybe it was because he had a little help having a bad game.
It's true, although,
Look what Minnesota did to Jamal Murray.
I totally get, and I don't know that anybody is disrespecting Minnesota. I'm certainly not. But there is the blame game that goes around after every loss, regardless of sport. When we get our YouTube poll up, you're going to see that as well. I mean, it is about the blame game. But when you're a star player, you can't come in and go 4 of 8, or excuse me, 5 of 14. Wemby can't be 5 of 17. They combined can't be 0 of 12 from 3. When you're the leaders and not expect to take some heat for it. And their paychecks, especially De'Aaron Fox's, says he's willing to accept that responsibility. And nothing wrong with that. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Gary, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Oh, man, I tell you, I got a long list, and I'm going to make it as short as possible because I know you got other folks.
We do.
Oh, man. First of all, they got to play better perimeter defense and make the Timberwolves pay for missing all them dang free throws. Man, if Timberwolves come in and make those free throws next game, we'll be in a lot of trouble. Also, when Wemby is being boxed out with 2 guys, the math says that means we have 4 guys covering 3 guys. So we got to use that 4th player out there to try and keep these guys from just getting to the hole whenever they want to. So they need to get back on defense and stay in front of your man. And also, make some dang 3-pointers, please. Boy, where was Carter Bryant last night? We sure could use that young guy. Too bad he was injured.
Well,
anyway,
it is. But, I mean, you're reaching for the Carter Bryant card.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
But, yeah, look, the Spurs have enough players without Carter Bryant to be okay. It's one of those nights, and maybe that week off was not good for them. I mean, maybe they were a little rusty coming back.
I mean, honestly, welcome to playoff basketball.
That's exactly right.
Because they got pushed around last night. That was a physical game. And I don't know what they were showing on Peacock or if you have YouTube and we're watching it on NBC Sports Network, whatever the case was, a lot of contact away from the basketball.
Oh, yeah.
That was a physical game. There were a variety of times where you're sitting up there and you go, man, who's sliding across the floor? Now, I was way up in the balcony, so, I mean, it was like ants down there. Who's down there sliding across the floor?
Wemby.
Yeah, and a lot of times, I mean, that was physical. Jason, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man? Jason, you're up.
Hello? Oh, okay, my bad. Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good.
Man, so I guess I'm going to lean with Joe on this one and say, like, the physicality of the Minnesota Timberwolves was just something that I seen in the regular season. I don't know if y'all recall there was a game where Wemby was on the sideline. He was getting ready to inbound the ball, and Julius Randle kind of gives him this look. It's like a look that I seen in, like, the movie Bound by Honor. Blood In, Blood Out, I think it was called. It's like are y'all still there with me?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, yeah, it just kind of gives him this look. And from what I can recall after that game, I think we blew a 10-point lead or something, and they went on a run, and they shut us down. I feel like the Spurs have overachieved this year. I'm glad they are where they're at. And on top of that, I only thought they were going to make it to the second round because I figured if they'd run into Denver or Minnesota, and even during that Emirates Cup game with New York, just that size, when you've seen that size and what they can do with those wings, it just makes it very difficult for our guys, like Fox, which is supposed to be our veteran. And then, of course, Wemby, which is just right now, that I watched the game probably 2 or 3 times, and Julius Randle is just putting the weight on him. It's like watching a Russian MMA fighter squeeze the life out of an American guy or a Brazilian guy, and he's just got no legs after that kind of pushing and leaning on. And what they've been doing with him has just been a fantastic job. So I kind of got to give it up for what Minnesota's been doing.
And again, Jason, appreciate the call and your film study on and everything else. It's playoff physical basketball,
and it ain't going to get any better.
No,
I mean it's not going to get any better.
They had an appetizer with Portland, and even Spurs players have kind of said, Portland was, this is playoff basketball. Now, there was a loss, so you have to play the blame game. That is our poll question today on YouTube, which you can find through SASportsStar.com. With the T-Wolves taking game 1, who takes the blame? Mitch, Wemby, Fox, or it's one game, they'll be fine. 63%, that's early. One game, they'll be fine. 21% blame Mitch. 11% blame Fox. 5% blame Wemby.
We'll see how that thing turns out there.
I'm surprised somebody actually already voted for Wemby.
Well, me too. There's another one. It went up to 10%.
Here we go.
So there you go. Go vote in our poll and make your voice be heard. And again, we're talking adjustments. We're talking just if I've got a video up on our socials.
Do you?
I did.
At SA Sports Star?
At SA Sports Star and on at Joe Reinagle 210, all of those. I didn't know if the sun was going to come up this morning.
Oh, stop.
I had no clue.
Oh.
With what I was hearing last night, I'm like, is a Spurs loss to Minnesota in the Book of Revelations? I don't know.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
I'm just wondering.
Hold on. You know, mister, you can't call game 2 a must-win. Stop blaming everybody. Give Minnesota credit, yet your video is the sun did come up today?
Well, that's exactly right. It did. It was a pep talk to Spurs fans to stop being so weenified.
Weenified.
It's one game. It's the playoffs.
Is that in the dictionary?
I don't know if it is or not. It's
Define
in my dictionary.
weenified.
I love wieners. It's one game. I got news for everybody out there. The Spurs are going to lose a few games in the playoffs. Guess what? It happens.
Spurs in 6 means they lose 2.
They're not going to go 60. I mean, it's just.
Well, they're not.
It baffles me.
Lost to Portland.
I know, but it baffles me that the fact that everybody, this is a sweep, 5 at the most.
What about 3?
Well, there were a couple of 3s.
Yeah.
I think so, too. We'll talk more Spurs basketball. If you got a phone line, stay there. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Want to hear from you. Who is to blame for last night's loss? Is there anybody to blame? I want to hear from you. We'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Now, with that game being late last night, I know a lot of you are blaming the Spurs and the late start for being a little tired today. But if you're always tired, always kind of exhausted, just no energy, maybe no sex drive, it is time for you to get into Synergenics or Low T Center. You know, 1 in 4 men has low testosterone. 80% of women experience hormonal imbalance. At Synergenics, you can book a free testosterone test and see if you qualify for TRT customized to your body by expert providers. New female patients pay just their insurance copay or a $99 flat fee for a full hormone evaluation. You see, Synergenics and Low T Center have been highlighted for having the highest quality testosterone on the market. They only use pharmaceutical-grade testosterone, and every treatment is tailored to your body. Also, all their providers are board certified and experts in their field, not some random chatbot or a provider that you'll never actually see. They also have a variety of peptides to help with healing, muscle tone recovery, sleep, weight loss, even hair and skin quality. So put that spring back in your step. Book that initial appointment now. Go to the website, feelgreatlookgreat.com. Book that initial appointment. Again, the website, feelgreatlookgreat.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Healthy vision is about more than seeing clearly. It's about going beyond. From comprehensive eye care with the latest technology to advanced vision solutions that provide deep insights into your overall health. And with doctors who build lasting relationships founded on trust, ensuring that every detail is taken care of. I choose Vision Source to never miss out on life's precious moments. Vision Source, beyond your eyes.
Tomorrow, the Blitz is taking over Novo Brewery, and we are gearing up for Spurs T-Wolves Game 2. We are live from 2 to 6 with happy hour specials and giveaways, and we're partnering with Mad Media starting at 5 o'clock for their May Business Networking Mixer. It's Novo Brewery. Tomorrow, we are pre-gaming for Spurs Timberwolves Game 2. Massive wall-to-wall TVs to catch all the silver and black action, a full bar, and a made fresh, delicious menu. Tomorrow at Novo Brewery attached to North Star Mall. Visit novobrew.com.
Hi, I am Officer Sarai Walton with the San Antonio Police Department. SAPD is always hiring, and you can apply online if you think you have what it takes to become part of the SAPD family. Submit your application at sapdcareers.com. Once you submit your application, you will be contacted to begin the process. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring. Start your journey to a rewarding career by applying online at sapdcareers.com. That is sapdcareers.com.
At Target, finding something for every kind of mom and every side of mom just got easier. Does she love fashion? Take 20% off select women's clothing and accessories and find a dress she'll love to wear. Is she into the outdoors? Freshen up her favorite spot with up to 40% off planters, pillows, and poofs. Or keep it classic, fresh tulips for just $12 and a Dossier fragrance trio for $32. Whatever mom is into, we've got it. Celebrate mom her way, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Food truck owners, today business will be booming. People will love your new menu and not make special orders. You will not roll your eyes when someone calls it a quesadilla. You will also switch to Progressive to get 30 customizable coverage options and restore your inner peace. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and covered selections.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more at every Tuesday home game. First pitch at 7:05. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
All right, step up. If you really know the Rangers, this is your game on Rangers Game Day. Make your call in the morning huddles, Ranger Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger who takes one deep. He hits one, you're in. Ranger tickets. He hits two, and then we're talking tickets and a hotel stay. Big swings, big rewards. Wake up with the morning huddle and cash in with the morning huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Oh, for the first time this playoffs, the Spurs are in a hole, a 1-0 hole to the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's just one game. Lots more left, lots more opportunities for the Spurs to play better than they did last night in Game 1. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix, and we're reacting and letting you vent if you so choose to do so. What are your thoughts on what happened last night?
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. YouTube through SASportsStar.com. You can comment there. Lots of comments, including one that says, hey, Aaron Rodgers, just relax. It's one game. And that's part of the poll question. A lot of blame going around on social media last night. So where are you placing the blame? Mitch, Wemby, Fox, or dude, it's one game, they'll be fine, which right now has 60% of the vote. It was a hell of a basketball game.
Oh, it was great.
And had that last shot from Julian gone in, obviously the attitude would be completely different. But I will say this, though, the warts of that game last night would be very much the same because it was a great physical game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wemby struggled offensively. Incredible on the defensive end with all his blocks. Chris Finch said some of those should have been goaltending. De'Aaron Fox, not good on the offensive end. And again, I don't know. That felt like 2005. I mean, I was actually kind of glad when both actually made it to 100 because it didn't feel like you were going to get to 100. If you had the under in that game, you're a happy camper today.
That was 45-45 at halftime, right? So, I mean, and in today's NBA, that's pretty low. It's interesting. A lot of people talking about Wemby not getting to the free throw line. I think, what do you have, a couple of free throws? And that was about it. 2 free throws. He made one of them. But the Spurs were 14 of 18 from the free throw line. Hell, it was Minnesota who wasn't making their free throws last night. 12 of 21 from the charity stripe. So they obviously feel like they can improve there. The three-point stripe was about the same for both teams. Spurs take 36 and only make 10. The Wolves 26 and only make 10.
And let's face it, the biggest shocker of last night was that Anthony Edwards was going to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched him warm up. He was out there for about 20 minutes when I was there watching before they made the official announcement, even though everybody knew that dude was going to play. And even watching him warm up, I wasn't sure if he was going to play because while he was out there and he was shooting the basketball, I never saw him doing any of those, I don't know, warm-up moves, going side to side like in a fast way, bursting. I mean, it was basically just out there shooting the basketball. I don't know what he learned from that warm-up, and I'm guessing whatever he was able to do, he did it in an area where only his trainers and people could watch him because the media watching him warm up, we saw nothing that would indicate the explosion is there, the leg looks good, he was doing this off of one leg. None of that was going on during his warm-up. It was a strange warm-up to see somebody coming off of injury and what they would do before the game.
There were a couple of times where he would hold his knee as he was running back down the floor. I saw that a couple of times last night on the broadcast. It never looked like it bothered him all that much. I know Dylan Harper tested him a couple of times, trying to get around him on the outside just to see how that knee looked. Look, he was good. Didn't play a lot of minutes last night. He was on a minutes restriction, 25 minutes. But when he's in there, the Spurs double-teamed him every single time. Yep. It makes a difference when he's on the floor versus when he's not.
And again, you look at last night. I mean, Wemby was incredible on the defensive end.
Yes.
All those block shots. I mean, dude had a triple-double, but 11 points.
Yeah.
That's not going to get it done.
Start by making some shots. Feel like know how to use my energy. You know, obviously used a lot of it on one side of the court. And on the other side, I used too much. Offensively, I used too much energy in things that didn't really help our team. So that's on me. But first thing, I start by making some shots.
Well, that's it. And look, I mean, I don't think Wemby can not make. I mean, be like he was last night. 0 for 8 from the three-point stripe. Maybe, I don't know, cut that in half or 5 perhaps from there and maybe try to work on getting inside, especially if Gobert's not on the floor. And if the Timberwolves go that route like they did late in the game, bench Gobert and try to go with Randall and Naz Reid on Wemby, I can see the alley-oop game working. I really can. And so I just don't think Wemby needs to settle for those three-pointers, certainly not 8 of them.
Well, there was one in particular, top of the key, straight on, but early in the possession, there was so much time on the clock, and I know it was open, so he took it. And there weren't a lot of open opportunities. But I'm with you. At some point, quit looking for the three. Don't settle for the easy because it's not, especially when it's not going in. When he says, I wasn't feeling it on the offensive end, all right, well, at what point do you realize, all right, maybe this isn't the smartest shot to take? There's a lot of time on the shot clock. There's no reason to take this three. And I realize that's a part of their offense. And as we have seen throughout this season with this team and quite frankly throughout the NBA, when you're making your threes, man, it's all gold. And when you're not, it's ugly. And last night was ugly from that standpoint, but Wemby is not at all concerned as far as, oh, man, we got to change everything.
I mean, we're very confident. We're still very confident, and we were confident in what we were doing on the court. But honestly, I need to look at the film again to see a little bit more how the dynamics went, because right now it's a little bit blurry for me. I think I played the last, 16 minutes of the game, maybe, I don't know. And it just went by like this. And that's not good. It means I didn't have the grasp on the game that I wish I did. Grasp, right? I don't know.
Grasp and silver lining. You had a hard time. You didn't know what silver lining was.
Now, is that just the playoff experience? Now, because last night was the first time in a long time where I thought post-game interviews, Wemby might have struggled a little bit with the English language and how to use proper words. Like you mentioned, silver lining, grasping this, grasping that. But for him to say those last minutes were just a blur, he was playing too fast. He's generally very calm and can recall certain points of the game during his post-game. And for him to say those final 16 minutes just were a blur, and is he admitting, and nothing wrong with that it's playoff basketball and the stage was big and the lights were certainly bright? Was he ready for the moment? To say it was just a blur, those 16 minutes, play within yourself.
Well,
was he not playing as calm as he normally does?
I think you push it.
Yeah.
I mean, you push it. When things aren't going well, you push it, and you try to make things happen. And I think that's what he's doing. And I think that's to me, that's what he means by that. And he was just pressing a little bit. What I'm going to be interested to see, and this may sound dumb to everybody, Wemby played 40 minutes last night.
Yep.
40. He's done that once this year. One time.
Uh-huh.
How does he come back? How does he respond to that? Is that going to be a problem? I heard a stat today, the last time he played 40 minutes, he only played 25 the next game. Now, it is the playoffs, and it's different. That was the regular season. It's going to be interesting to see, does that affect him at all playing that long and that many minutes in a game like that?
And again, 11 points for a guy like Vic. One, we don't expect to see that. You don't expect to see that in back-to-back games. You mentioned the silver linings. This is Wemby when he was asked if any silver linings to the closeout of the game.
Obviously, we have to be better. And as I said, it shows up on the stat sheet. But we need to figure out before 48 hours what we can do better. And I got no doubt that we will. I mean, it's I trust us.
You trust us.
And he should. And again, it's one game. And I'm sure that Mitch Johnson is preaching that today. Look, it's one game. This is a 7-game series. Nobody says you have to win it in 5. You don't. If you do, that's great. But it's a 7-game series. It's the first one to 4 wins. And so Minnesota got the first one. There's a lot of time left. And the panic is, it's a little bit.
It's one game.
It's premature at this point.
I don't know that it's premature.
It's premature.
I don't know that it is. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. DJ, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hello. Hey, I'm back. I think for the young people that are just becoming or have just became Spurs fans, they don't remember all the bruises and everything that we went through with Dave Robinson and Tim Duncan, going through Utah Jazz, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to make it through all these guys. Wow. I think this is just a little bit, a taste of what we had to go through. This is a new era, so they got to go through these little hits, and even when you think you're too high up there, somebody bring you back down to earth, because I know he's an alien, but he's living on Mother Earth, so he's going to have to understand how this goes, you know what I mean? But that's all my take.
Absolutely.
That's a good call, DJ. Yeah,
call.
Appreciate it.
I mean, you think about, Karl Malone with that elbow to 5-0's head.
Absolutely.
Holy cow.
I mean, look, and we've talked about the playoff series during the dynasty that was the Spurs with Duncan and Parker and Ginobili. I mean, the stuff that they had to overcome, the things that they had to do, they lost games that they probably shouldn't have lost. Guys didn't play as well as they thought they could play. It happens. It's the playoffs. That team you're playing against is in the playoffs for a reason. They're not just there because somebody decided to put them there. They earn their way there. They're playing just as hard. They make just as much money as you do.
Though, I think some of the, and you're right, Joe, but the Spurs are favored in this series. They were favored by 10 points last night, 11.5, and it dropped down to about 9. Everybody's saying that they were going to win this series easily.
Yeah.
And I think as Spurs fans, you felt that way too. And then you're validated when you see national media types saying, yeah, man, Spurs are so good. And when you're the favored team, a loss like last night stings a little bit more. If they weren't the favored team, if they weren't the higher seed, if they didn't lose home court advantage in game one, I'm with you. Everything you're saying is right. But when you do have the home court and you are favored to win, when you do lose a game, especially in which the way they played last night, I think the panic and the fear and the bleeps is a little bit more justified because it's more of a surprise.
Yeah, but I think, and I will say this, I think the Spurs, Vegas-wise, and whoever makes these lines, they get caught up in it too, I think, a little bit, even though as good as they are. Look, the Spurs have never been here before. This is all new to them. The Wolves have.
Yeah.
They've been to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row. They've been through these battles.
Yep.
They know what they're doing. It makes a difference. And I think the Spurs, quite frankly, 9 points, that's too many. And I don't know what it will be tomorrow. I'll look at my phone here in a minute. But you've got to, and I think Minnesota will get that respect from Las Vegas as this series moves on. And I think you're going to see every single game. I do not see any games that I'm looking at right now with physical and as good a defense as both of these teams play, they're going to be any different than last night. If you're looking for the Spurs to go out, they're going to revenge and they'll beat them by 20 tomorrow. I wouldn't count on it. I would not count on that happening. Now, I'm not saying the Spurs will lose tomorrow night, but I'm just saying if you're expecting a blowout tomorrow night because the Spurs lost last night, I think you're going to be disappointed. All of these games are going to be the same in my mind, just like that and right down to the wire. It's going to be a fun series, man. It is going to be a blast the entire way through. And if it goes 7, I'm here for it. Let's rock. Why not?
Spurs in 6.
You don't think it's going 7, huh?
Spurs in 6.
All right, well, that's what I said. I'm sticking with it. So, I mean.
But you're right. We wanted great basketball. We got it.
Absolutely.
And how different the mood would be if one shot falls last night.
Well, sure. Absolutely. That last shot.
As bad as they played last night, as bad as you felt like they played last night, they had a chance to win that thing.
They sure did. And they made a hell of a comeback to get it there.
Yep.
Because Minnesota went up by 9 late in that game, and the Spurs rallied back. So it's going to be a fun series, no doubt. You ever wonder what the Secret Service guys do when, they're waiting around for the president?
I didn't think about this.
Yeah, well, I didn't think about this either, but
scary.
Apparently, that's what's happening. We'll see. And guys are using their penises for everything. It's amazing. I don't know if this is the trend or what. We got another dude doing crazy stuff with his wiener. We'll talk about it. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. They're conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast Gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for like so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I need a little range, step to the range, come on, meet me at the range.
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom. Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs will play Game 2 against the Minnesota Timberwolves tomorrow night inside the Frost Bank Center at 8:30. Tonight, though, we have a few more Game 1s in action. First up, the Pistons welcome in the Cavaliers. Game 1 tip-off there in Detroit, set for 6 o'clock on Peacock and NBC Sports Network. That's followed up by Oklahoma City and the LA Lakers. Luka Doncic's already been ruled out for tonight's game. Tip-off from OKC, 7:30 on NBC.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a great one out there, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it. Appreciate you spending some time with us here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix, and we are trying to figure out what happened last night and what went wrong and who's to blame, quite frankly.
Well, it is the blame game.
Of course it is.
104,
That's what we do.
102. Minnesota gets the Game 1 win on YouTube, which you can find through SASportsStar.com. Blame Mitch, blame Wemby, blame Fox. Or it's one game, they'll be fine. That's getting 59% of the votes right now, so make sure you go and vote. The confidence level, if you could call it that, a little all over the place on social. Ray Solis tweets in at Jason Minix. Needs to add in at Joe Reinagle 210. Minnesota didn't do anything special. They played defense with more hustle, intensity, and physical aggression. Wemby scores like normal. This game is over. Fox scores like normal. Nobody is pissed. Spurs remember what got them there, and we're going honking.
Good for you. Hopefully there'll be some honking taking place tomorrow night.
Jesse says, Jesse Garcia, no panic, but it's a must-win in Game 2.
A must-win? Come on.
Well, it is.
It's not.
Really, really nice to win Game 2.
It'd be nice to win, yes, and even the series up, and then try to get one in Minnesota. Minnesota's been tough in Minnesota. They beat the Spurs twice there this year in the regular season, which was a long time ago, and I don't really put a lot of stock into that. But all the games they played this year, just about they played 3 times, and the margin of victory was not much. These two teams are pretty evenly matched, in my mind.
Again, you look at the game last night, and Game 2, Spurs are 9.5 point favorite.
Yep.
So that's Vegas saying Wemby and Fox aren't going to have offensive games like they did in Game 1.
We'll see.
I mean, we will see. More on the Spurs coming up. Right now, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novu Brazil Brewery in North Star Mall. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
This segment made for Reinagle.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
I mean, every story here is
sexual.
Yeah. I mean, Pledge, play the drop from Joe.
Don't we all wish we could see more wiener?
Or the other one.
I love wieners.
There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Now, there's a Secret Service agent that loves his a little too much while on the job.
I was looking for the noodles.
Now, granted, being a Secret Service agent, there are probably a lot of downtime. A lot of you're standing around waiting.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
And a Secret Service agent got arrested at a hotel because while he was off work, he was in the hallway, standing around, masturbating.
There's so many questions there. I mean, if he's at a hotel, he's probably got a room.
You would think.
Okay, go in your room and do that, first and foremost. Nobody wants to see that happening. Although I have a pretty good rub. I get, I guess the guy's got urges. I don't know, and I couldn't wait.
Well, I mean, first off, he's staying at the DoubleTree. Now, no offense to the DoubleTree, but who are you guarding as a Secret Service agent that is potentially staying at the DoubleTree?
Well, that's a good question. Unless he's off duty, and that's where they keep the Secret Service guys.
It's possible. Now, the Secret Service agent, and this happened in Miami.
Maybe he's looking out the window at the pool.
His name is John Spillman. You can't make this up. He was arrested for indecent exposure over the weekend because he was masturbating in a hotel hallway. He was reportedly in Florida working perimeter security as part of President Trump's visit to Trump National Doral Golf Club for the 2026 PGA Cadillac Championship. The incident reportedly went down Sunday night at the DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel Miami Airport and Convention Center, where hotel guests told investigators Spillman started following them from the hotel lobby before allegedly
just whip it out.
Yeah,
Go
it's
to
what
town.
he did. It's exactly what he did. Hotel security was called. The security found Spillman masturbating with his pants down. In a statement, Secret Service Chief Richard McCauley says, quote, "The alleged conduct is unacceptable and stands in stark contrast to the professionalism and integrity that I demand of our personnel." He was said to be off duty at the time.
I wonder if Trump will pardon him. That's just a bizarre thing. Dude, nobody wants to see you pleasuring yourself. I'm just saying. I don't think anyway. And it's certainly, I mean, can you imagine walking down, you go into your room and some dude's standing there just having a hell of a time with himself?
You're looking to grab the knob.
I mean, no, none of that makes any sense whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
I would like to find out later that he had spent a lot of time at the hotel bar and maybe thought he was already in his room.
Maybe.
Maybe. Or, you know, he is Secret Service. Maybe he's just more comfortable standing outside of the room instead of inside of the room.
Maybe. That could be it.
I don't know. Now, you talk about not wanting to see things. I mean, that's a guy by himself.
Uh-huh.
There is a French nudist resort that is now unhappy because it's being overrun by swingers who are having sex on the beach.
Well, and it's pissing the regular customers off that have been going to this particular resort for many years. One lady was quoted in this article saying, you know, we used to just take our clothes off and walk on the beach. Now, boy, I tell you, these swingers are coming in and they're going to town.
Keep putting that wood down.
I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. So I don't know, growing up in Central Texas, I think most of us at some point have heard of Hippie Hollow. Is that still a thing up in Austin?
I would hope so.
Is Hippie Hollow still?
I would hope so.
I mean,
I got a couple of cheap thrills at Hippie Hollow.
We all did.
Try to shove it up their ass.
Well,
No,
I
not
never
that.
tried to do that, but I was it was eye candy.
When you're in high school and you realize, man, those things sag over time, huh?
Yeah. Although I don't know.
A lot of them you kind of wish you had put something on. Let's be honest.
Some yes, but
Yeah.
there were some that were pretty shiny and perky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
But they're saying at this French spot, dude, we're nudists. It's not a sexual place.
Well,
Quit having sex on the beach. Just walk around naked.
I wonder, and honestly, like this dude in the hotel room, and now these swingers on the beach. What's the deal with with wanting everybody to see you taking care of this
Exhibitionists.
stuff? I guess.
Yes.
That must be what it is.
I mean, you feel free to do things.
I suppose. Wow.
You know, they're.
But what about the sand?
That's our problem.
Not like you don't have a crack.
That's our problem.
Joe really cares about the ladies.
I'm just.
You're right. You're talking like you've never had sex on the beach. There's sand.
I know.
What?
I mean, you grew up in Alice. You know there's sand.
Well, yes.
Get some places.
We were at the beach quite often.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's those damn, Sunday school things, trips that you go to were the worst.
What?
They were having sex all over the place. It was the church trips that, they rent the buses, you drive to the beach.
Preacher's daughter?
There'd be people in the sand dunes just going to town.
Not you.
Well, I will not.
You were like the Secret Service agent, just out in front of the dude.
No, I wasn't doing that. You just whip it out. Go to town.
Now, Wienerfest continues. A man uses his penis to pull a police car down the street while on fire, all in an effort to raise awareness for prostate cancer.
Now, wait a minute. The police car's on fire? Or
No,
he is?
the dude's on fire.
He's on fire.
Yeah, he set himself on fire. He's a 50-year-old guy, and he borrowed a police car. He's a wacky strongman. He has done something similar before with his testicles, and now he's just decided to do it. Attaching a tow rope to his penis and pulling the car. And he was successfully able to do that, and he claims he's the only one that's ever done this.
While on fire.
While on fire. But all in an effort to raise awareness for men's health issues. Mission accomplished.
If I'm
that's a great idea, Jim.
I don't know. If I'm walking by and I see some dude on fire pulling a police car with his wiener, I'm not thinking about prostate cancer. I don't know. Call me crazy.
But you say, why would you do that? Well, I'm trying to raise awareness for prostate cancer.
Well, I probably wouldn't have asked him that.
He did say, quote, I won't lie, it did hurt quite a bit.
I'm sure it did. What, the fire or pulling the police car?
Maybe a little bit of both. He did say... quote, people think I'm a bit mad, but I like to set myself challenges.
I wouldn't say a bit mad. Dude, you're crazy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yep.
Quit being a wussy!
Yeah.
It's time for an intervention for that dude.
Well, I would say go look at the pictures, but...
there are pictures?
Yeah, of course there are of course there are pictures. You know, the tow rope looks like it's been attached with a bit of a towel and a bunch of zip ties.
Oh.
Yeah, buddy.
Holy cow.
But he says he's fine.
Yeah, well, good for him. I don't know why people want to do stuff like this. And I guess
they make the news.
Well, I guess so.
Yeah.
But it's not in a good way. But you're nutty as hell.
Yeah, well.
I just can't imagine. Well, we go from playing to having sex on the beach to using it as a tool. I love wieners.
Multi skilled.
Without a doubt. No question about it. Did you hear Kendrick Perkins this morning?
No.
You didn't?
I didn't.
And then Gilbert Arenas. I just saw a tweet from old Gilbert.
Okay.
Remember Gilbert?
So now you're mad at him?
Yeah, Spurs are the greatest team in the world until they lose a game, and now they suck. They're going to lose the series, according to Kendrick Perkins and Gilbert Arenas, and that's just, well, I will say Perkins, if they lose tomorrow, it's over.
Okay.
That's what he's saying.
Well, let's talk about it.
We'll talk Spurs basketball. We continue here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Headline Blitz is brought to you by Novo Brewery, San Antonio's newest sports watching destination with over 80 feet of video walls, 60 craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. A full bar and delicious menu. Novo Brewery is attached to North Star Mall and open late hours. San Antonio's playoff headquarters has arrived. Novo Brewery features 80 feet of video walls, craft beers, hard kombucha on tap, and the food menu that means business. Thick-cut ribeye, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, carne asada fries, and more. And with its own private entrance separate from North Star Mall, no hassle, just you, your crew, and the biggest screens in the city at Novo Brewery. Open late. Visit novobrew.com. Novo Brewery. Come hungry. Stay for the game.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this. But I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested, and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. And we give you the best chance to win and save big. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%. And that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now for free. Don't pay unless you save. Text TAX to 64,000. Text TAX to 64,000. Text TAX to 64,000.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio and have been practicing law here since 1994. And in the past 30-plus years, I've helped hundreds of San Antonians injured by negligent drivers. If you've been injured in a car or truck collision, call me, 210-900-0400. I did want to let you know of a very disturbing trend I've seen that you really need to be aware of. If an attorney or someone acting on that attorney's behalf calls you after a traffic collision, with very limited exceptions, that is called barratry or solicitation. It's a crime and is unethical under our state bar rules. Do not answer these phone calls. Do not hire an unethical attorney. Neither I nor anyone in my firm will ever call you after a traffic collision. If you need my help, and if you've been injured in a traffic collision, I think you do, you'll need to call me. My name is Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Help, Mother's Day's almost here and I have nothing for Mom.
Relax, sis. Just shop JTV. I already got Mom a gorgeous gold bracelet.
JTV, like jewelry, television, isn't that
amazing? Yes. They have thousands of gift and jewelry ideas, and their prices are unreal.
Okay, but how unreal are we talking?
Right now, new customers get $20 off your purchase of $99 or more at jtv.com. Use code DEAL20 now.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
Because I'm the mean sister.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded one new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Let's be honest. Watching the Rangers is better when you got something on the line. On Rangers game days, call your shot with the morning huddles. Rangers double dinger payday.
Play ball!
Pick the Ranger you think will send one into the seats. He hits 1, you're going to a Rangers game. He hits 2. Now you've just been upgraded. Tickets and a hotel stay. That's what we call getting paid. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Make your pick and win with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Back on the Blitz, talking about the Spurs Game 1 loss. Fantastic basketball game all the way around until, well, the Spurs lose. And it's really the only knock on what happened last night inside the Frostbank Center. Other than that, it was very entertaining and a lot of fun. I'm Joe. He's Jason.
You want to react? That's what we're doing here today. Easy to do. You want to get something off your chest? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there. The ebbs and flow of playoff basketball.
Yep.
Spurs take care of Portland easily, although that wasn't that easy. They were down in a couple of those games there in Portland, but, you know, they cruise. Minnesota, shorthanded coming in. Everybody's expecting San Antonio and Oklahoma City to meet in the Western Conference Finals. Kendrick Perkins has said Spurs are going to win the championship. This morning, well, he's changed his tune.
It was the player Anthony Edwards. And by the way, let me start off by telling him thank you. As a former player, thank you, because this is what we've been missing. This is what we've been wanting. The bar has been set. This man is out here playing on 2 hurt knees and told the doctors, I ain't hearing what y'all trying to talk about. I'm going out here and I'm going to hoop and push the line for his squad. And so when you think about what he done, going out there, he came in off the bench. He was efficient. He was effective. He played with passion. And I'm going to say this. I know I picked the San Antonio Spurs to win the championship, and I'm going to say right now that I was wrong. I was wrong, and I'm going to take all the heat that comes with it because they're not going to win this series. They're not going to win this series. I know when a team has that it factor. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they got that it factor.
Until the Spurs win game 2, and then, Kendrick will be on the TV in the morning. So I'm changed my mind again. The Spurs are the greatest team alive. Dude, make a pick and stay with it.
Now, again, we're in the opinion business, and opinions can change over time. But shift that quickly after one game.
One game.
But again, I don't know. Kendrick Perkins, he can see it. Whatever it is, Kendrick Perkins can see it, and he thinks that the Spurs just don't have it.
Well, before yesterday's game, he thought they had it.
Well, again, and is that just over respect to what he saw from the Timberwolves players? Anthony Edwards, the way he played last night, the way a lot of guys played last night. I look at last night, and again, as this series goes, maybe Kendrick Perkins will be proven right. I don't think so, but it is possible. Or is it just possible that last night after a week off, playing in the second round, nerves got the best of Wemby. Nerves maybe got the best of De'Aaron Fox. Minnesota has a whole lot to do with that, but I don't expect many games where those two are going to combine for 21 points and go 0 for 12 from three-point range, and you lose by 2. Mitch Johnson was asked last night, what did Memphis do to really hamper Wemby's offensive game?
They did what they do. They're physical. They guard the basketball really well, especially direct actions where it's, kind of mano-a-mano situations. They got guys that are capable of doing it, and they take a lot of pride in it. So they did a good job there. And I think in the first half, I thought we were a little indecisive. Felt like there were times we got a little in between, whether that was to shoot or not, to drive or not, to pass or not, just in general. We were indecisive, and that hurt us in the first half. We picked up the pace a little bit there in the second half, and we missed some good shots. But, yeah, I think the process was probably better than some of the box score looked at some of that. I thought when he screened and rolled, we got some good looks and have to continue to do that more.
It'll be interesting to see if what adjustments, if any, Mitch Johnson makes. Chris Finch is going to do the same thing.
Yep.
And this is going to be and this is what Wemby talked about. Wemby talked about the challenge of the Minnesota Timberwolves, where the Portland Trailblazers weren't that much of a challenge, and Minnesota is going to be. And we saw that last night. And even some in-game adjustments by Minnesota, which I thought were fantastic. So it's going to be interesting to see what both teams do and how they come out and play differently tomorrow night.
When you think about what Mitch said, indecisive. They were. You could see that. No matter where you were watching the game last night, there was some hesitation early. I see Claymore on our YouTube feed, which you can access through SASportsStar.com. Says, don't put stock in his word. That wasn't Ginobili or Danny Green, a former Spur guy speaking. All right, if you need to hear from a former Spur, did you hear Danny Green last night with Scott Van Pelt? The Spurs didn't have any urgency in that game until the last couple of minutes when they were down 9 trying to rally back. And Danny Green, I think, was spot on with that. The Spurs' urgency, you can question that. I just listening to Mitch, and I think Mitch was completely honest there, who got out-coached last night. And you expect him to against a veteran coach like what Minnesota has. Indecisive, that's a problem that can easily be fixed. Just being more comfortable. They've seen it now. Wemby talked about the game being a bit of a blur, so that tells me that game was very fast for him. He needs to get back to being calm. But they were happy with a lot of the shots that they were getting. They just didn't drop last night, especially from 3. All very fixable things for the San Antonio Spurs.
Well, again, we'll see what happens. I'm going to give Minnesota a little more credit than just saying the Spurs had a bad night. And I think there's a reason they had a bad night, because I think Minnesota made them indecisive. Look, defensively, Minnesota is there with San Antonio. And I'm not saying that because I'm pulling for Minnesota. I still like the Spurs to win this series, but I'm just saying I think Minnesota had a lot to do with the poor play of the Spurs offense last night, and vice versa for that matter. I mean, look, Minnesota didn't exactly light up the scoreboard offensively.
First to 100 wins.
And it's because the Spurs defense is that good. This is going to be a defensive battle, and nights are going to be ugly. They're not all going to be pretty, and they're not all going to be, shots flying in all over the place and running layups and all the pretty stuff that we're used to seeing from San Antonio. It's just not going to be that way in my mind. This is going to be an ugly series and a physical series, and I think you better get used to games like last night.
But I do think Mitch Johnson, in the key for tomorrow night, get Wemby going offensively, and even he said they need to get more from De'Aaron Fox.
I thought he missed some shots. The box score says he's 5 for 14, 6 turnovers, so I'm sure in terms of what we're used to from the box score, you'd want more from him, but I have no concern over De'Aaron Fox or Victor Wembanyama's box score. They'll be better. We'll be better for them. We missed some good shots tonight. There's some things that we can do execution-wise that will be a lot better, and sometimes the box score doesn't always show. If we run a play and this guy doesn't get the catch where he's supposed to or doesn't set the proper screen, then that can throw off the equilibrium or whatever you're supposed to have on that play and the way it's supposed to unfold. And so then someone else may take a tough shot or get a turnover, but there's a lot that goes into that. No different than when Victor rolls. A lot of times he doesn't he's not the recipient of the pass, but he opens up the whole world for everybody else. So it's the same thing on the other end of the spectrum.
He's right. Look, they're going to try something, and they will. Again, I hope Wemby, and I hope they work him more toward the basket, depending on what Minnesota does with Rudy Gobert. If they shy away from Gobert, and obviously I think he'll start the game, but Rudy Gobert was as soft as tissue last night. He did nothing. He did absolutely nothing last night, and that's why he was benched in the fourth quarter. He was horrible last night. And you bring in those other guys, you try to draw Wemby out of the paint and get him out of there, and I think that's what happened. And I think that's why he takes 8 3-point shots, and none of them fall.
I thought Rudy was a little bit more than tissue paper last night. He was physical. I thought one of the reasons why Chris Finch pulled him is because he was missing all those free throws at a point where they had to make free throws, and the guy was awful at the line, so he had to go sit down because – I was expecting Mitch Johnson just keep fouling him and get him to the free throw line, and he's going to miss, and you get the rebound and go.
Rudy Gobert and physical just don't match. I don't know where he was being physical with anybody last night. I mean, the guy was to me, watching the game, he was just like just in the way, and he didn't affect anybody that I saw, and he certainly, I don't know who he was physical with. I mean, when you put Julius Randle on Wemby,
sure,
he was being physical with him. I just didn't see anything from Gobert, and as far as I'm concerned, they could bench him for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I thought his free throws were bad.
They were,
but again, that's what Rudy Gobert does, and he is. I don't know. I mean, he's not manhandling people physical, but he is physical and has that presence. He has won Defensive Player of the Year awards a couple of times, and that presence will fail. Hell, they started the game with back-to-back blocks, which is unusual in an NBA game. And then Wemby had, 8 at halftime?
Did he have that many at halftime?
8? 8 blocks? 8 blocks?
Oh, 8 blocks.
8
okay.
blocks?
Okay. Yeah, he did. He finishes with 12.
Yeah.
Look, on the defensive end, Wemby was spectacular. I mean, did you and I don't know if you noticed this, and maybe when you got home you saw it, but they were showing what Wemby does, and it's fascinating what he does. He almost pretends like he doesn't see you. He lets you go by, and then he comes up from behind and gets that block. It is spectacular, and they pointed that out last night on the broadcast, and showed several different examples of it, and it's fascinating how he does that. He just lets you go by and then comes up behind you and swats the ball away.
Well, even though he had a gazillion blocks last night, Terrence Shannon is not worried about Wemby and his blocks.
He gonna have to block it every time. I ain't gonna stop going downhill. And I told him that when he said a little something after he blocked my second one, but he gonna have to block it every time, and I know he ain't gonna block it every single time. I'm gonna dunk on him. So
you're gonna dunk on him.
He's going to dunk on him.
Oh, you calling him out? I'm going to dunk on him.
Was he the same guy that said the Denver Nuggets were horrible defenders? I'm not sure if it was Shannon. It was the other one, right?
That was Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, Jaden McDaniels, who was in foul trouble last night. Look, Minnesota reminds me a lot of San Antonio. They really do, with the young players that they have. And some of the veteran guys that they have, I mean, these two teams, they remind me a lot of each other.
We've got a series, and
without a doubt.
And man, was it Mike Conley? Maybe the difference maker, especially late.
So. Yeah,
that veteran presence.
No doubt about it. And look, quite frankly, Dylan Harper was the best player for San Antonio last night.
Yeah.
I mean, he was playing ball. All right, let's switch gears for a little bit. We'll continue to talk Spurs basketball, and if you want to do that, you can certainly go to YouTube. We've got our poll up there that you can take part in. If you want to talk San Antonio Spurs and what you think happened and what they need to change, you're certainly welcome to do that. In the meantime, strength of schedule in the NFL doesn't look good for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll talk about it. We continue here we go on the Blitz, a 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you about my good friends, though, at Stevens Roofing. Want to talk to you about them because, again, I look at my phone today and more rain, more thunderstorms coming in. And, well, that's not good, especially if you think there's something wrong with your roof. You don't want that to happen. You don't want all that stuff. And if there's hail, if there's wind and all the rain and all of that stuff, get it checked out. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994. They're going to send a crew out to your house. They'll check your roof. They'll do it for free. And they'll let you know if there's any problems that you need to take care of. You got to get it taken care of because, look, these storms are happening. We're in May. This is when it happens, and obviously it's been raining a lot here as of late. So make sure your roof is up to par for whatever Mother Nature has in store for us coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Stevens Roofing and Solar is the absolute best in the business. Have I mentioned the fact that they've been in business since 1983? My goodness, that ought to tell you everything you need to know about the reputation, about the quality of work that is done at Stevens Roofing and Solar. Give them a call. Don't put it off. 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, Game 2 on Wednesday night. Can the Spurs bounce back against the Timberwolves? And how about the Thunder-Laker matchup? We'll talk about that and plenty more. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. This is the story of the one.
As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
An accident or injury can derail your life in an instant, leaving you struggling to pay for medical bills and daily expenses. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe every Texan deserves justice, no matter their financial situation. That's why we offer our no-win, no-fee promise. You don't pay us unless we win your case. We know how difficult recovering from an accident can be. Let us handle your case while you focus on getting better. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Rich Eisen here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payments sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required. Not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
This Deere season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
The Morning Huddle.
I told my wife whenever I get cremated, make sure you tell the guy, oh, he had gout.
Yeah, he's
yeah, there's going to be some stuff left over.
So really, you got to turn the heat up just a little bit more. He's carrying a lot of grease, a lot of gout. So.
I like to imagine
it's gonna be like an out of control grease fire. You're not gonna be able to put it out.
I like to imagine that the alcohol in me is gonna help burn all the extra grease.
It burns
and fat.
a blue flame. Hey, this one smells like a 17-year-old's ashtray. He smells like weed.
No, it smells like bourbon in here.
It smells like bourbon and weed.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, man, we are the day after a Spurs loss in the playoffs. Something Spurs fans this year not used to. Only had to deal with that a couple of times. So, game 2 tomorrow night inside the Frostbank Center. Spurs, Timberwolves. We'll see.
A lot of people dragging today because of the late
little
game.
Bit. Well, they'll be dragging on Thursday, too, but maybe a little happier than today.
Well, let's hope.
Yes.
Let's hope. The late starts. I didn't hear Rob this morning, and I thought, Rob really called in after a Spurs loss? I'd given him crap, but he actually had planned to take the day off. He's been grilling all day, and he just sent me a photo of some of the ribs that he's doing.
Dude, they look fantastic.
They do. His dad's a professor. And I guess and I know Rob does this every year. They have a party for all those law students at the house, and Rob is tasked with barbecuing for everybody. So he was doing, I think he said 5 racks of ribs and like 20 chickens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He just sent me a picture of the ribs. Rob might be out tomorrow, too. The guy's going to be in a meat coma.
Yeah, without a doubt. 20
those
chickens. Are those his own chickens?
That's a great question.
I don't know that. I wonder.
I mean, when you raise chickens, at some point you're going to eat them, right?
Yeah,
they become your pet and then your dinner.
Well, sure. I would think so. Unless they're just egg-laying chickens, and that's what they have them for. Or feasting for the coyotes.
Well,
one of the two.
It's coyote food at Rob's house.
I don't know. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, the guy's been grilling all day, but
good for him. Those ribs look great.
Well, and it's Taco Tuesday and Cinco de Mayo.
It is. It is Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody.
Well, it's a different reason to drink today after that Spurs loss.
Yeah.
You know,
one game. That's it. It's one game.
It is. It's going to be a long series.
Absolutely.
All good. Get a good meal today, and then be ready to go for Game 2 tomorrow. And and it's not all Spurs. Cowboys enter the chat. A lot of excitement for the Cowboys' upcoming season, right?
Yes.
Although, while we do have to wait another week or so for the schedule to officially be released, for all you thinking Cowboys are going to be better this year, they have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL this upcoming season.
5th hardest, according to, who's this, Warren Sharp?
Well.
And not sure, but if you go with the...
it's 4th hardest.
They've got all this stuff. I mean, the Rams, Cowboys, Panthers, Dolphins, and Cardinals, according to this, have the toughest schedules next year in the NFL.
I mean, we know who they're going to play. We just don't know how it's all going to lay out.
Right.
But as you start preparing and getting ready for the season, it's not like this non-playoff team is going to have an easy schedule, which happens to a lot of teams. Ask the New England Patriots.
Yes.
When you suck, you're rewarded with an easier schedule, except when you don't.
It's crazy. And I don't know, does that say more about the NFC East than anything else? Because if you look at the Rams, you could say the same thing. They're in a tough division as well, but the Panthers certainly aren't. Dolphins, and Cardinals. I mean. So I'm not sure exactly where we're going there. I can't wait till the schedule comes out and we'll see. Because with the Cowboys not making the playoffs last year, they should not have this hard of a schedule.
Well, and I'd have to go and look and what are the other divisions they're playing and how tough are that, right? That's going to go from there. But if you want reason to believe, if you want reason to have hope for a successful Dallas Cowboys season, Stephen Jones said it today on Mad Dog Radio on Sirius XM.
Dak Prescott, he's just, obviously we feel like he's one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the league. And then you surround him, with a running game. You surround him with the weapons, as you mentioned, CD and George Pickens and the deep receiving core we have. You got a great tight end room led by Jake Ferguson. The offensive line group's strong. And, of course, we got Devontae Williams signed back. Yeah. So we just feel like the pieces are in place for that offense to only get better. And certainly Coach Schottenheimer is one of the top offensive minds in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I heard him say?
Buy into us.
We're not a championship team yet. We are a championship.
We have established a championship program. It's just not the world championship yet.
I just figured I'd get somebody who was taking a drink, and when Steven said Dak Prescott, they spit it all out over their keyboard.
I'm sure that they did.
That was the goal there.
Just so you know, the home schedule for the Cowboys, obviously the Eagles, Commanders, Giants, they've got the Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, Baltimore Ravens, but that game's going to be in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
You got the Arizona Cardinals, the 49ers, and the Tampa Bay Bucks. That's the home schedule.
Yep.
Away schedule, besides the division, you got the Packers, the Texans, the Colts, the Seahawks, and the Rams. Pretty tough road schedule.
It is a tough road schedule. And you mentioned the Packers.
Yeah.
A good chance to visit with old friend Micah Parsons.
Uh-huh.
Which Stephen was asked today. It's been a year or so. Your thoughts on how you guys have handled the Micah trade?
Yeah, we feel really good about it. Obviously, much respect for Micah and what he stands for and how he plays and the caliber of player he is. But, at the same time, we feel good about what we've added, via that trade. And you look at a guy like Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark, they're alpha players who not only are great players on the field, but they're leaders in the meeting rooms, how they go about their business in the off season, just bring great leadership to this team. As we mentioned, we add a guy like Caleb Downs, who's obviously the same type of character, he's going to make everybody around him great. Everybody's going to feed off of him. And then the pieces that we've added the last couple of years we're fired up about Ezaraku, who was a second-round pick for us last year, who I think it's all in front of. I just feel very optimistic that we have the right pieces in place to go out and, that ultimately, the decision we made was, that one player is not worth, 4 or 5 good ones. And we feel like that's where we're going to end up here and in a good spot. And, we had that opportunity there and didn't feel like we were one player away last year, but I certainly feel like we're putting the pieces together, to give us an opportunity to go do what our fans deserve, what we want, which is to go try and win the big trophy.
The big trophy. Look, and what they've done this offseason, I think it needs to be commended, and I think most people are commending them for that. The offense was good. It healthy. Everybody should be good again. They're going to put some points up, and that defense has got to be better with what they've done. And they've also got Adoree Jackson in town today. Free agent, Philadelphia Eagle, cornerback.
Christian Parker.
Yeah, exactly. He's familiar with him. So you sign a guy like that, and you can probably get him pretty cheap, and certainly adds depth to what you already have.
And again, the only guy supposedly in for a visit today. The Cowboys have a roster spot available, and you see a lot of times the coordinators are going to bring somebody in that's very familiar. I don't know how much of a need that is right now, but you can never have too many defensive backs, right? But when you look at the young guys that they have in that secondary, and the expectation that they're healthy, Ravel, bland. But again,
overshown.
I'm not a secondary guy, but
well,
you look at it. A guy like Adoree Jackson makes sense that he would come in and sign just because the familiarity with Christian Parker. I just don't know how much playing time that guy would actually get, and quite honestly, I hope none, because if he's playing, that means something terribly wrong has happened to one of those other guys. Either they're injured or they suck if Adoree Jackson ends up playing a lot.
Yeah, well, true. But again, just depth-wise, I don't think it hurts. And if that's where you want to go with that, and I'm not sure where else they would want to go unless it was another linebacker. But I don't know. I think it's okay. And you bring him in. He's a veteran guy that can help and maybe teach some of these other guys, if nothing else. So we'll see if they sign Adoree or not. But the Cowboys should be commended for what they've done in the offseason. And I think most people are doing that, Jason. And them, along with the New York Jets of all teams, but that's got to go haywire because they suck. And they will always suck.
It's par for the course. Now, the offseason for the Cowboys is expected to lack the normal Dallas drama because George Pickens has signed his tag. So now the question is he actually going to show up? Steven, in a very long Steven-type answer, I mean, he's sounding more and more like his dad by the day, says the expectation is that GP is going to actually show up for everything that's mandatory.
Certainly, that's what we expect. I mean, anytime a player signs a contract, and the expectations as we hold for all of our players is, when you sign up and you're under contract and you're expected to do what your teammates, are doing. And certainly, go back to Dak. I know he's working with Dak and those type of things. But at the end of the day, we'll see how this thing plays out. I totally agree with you. I think George Pickens has a chance to be competing with CD to be one of the best receivers in the league. And to me, that's what makes our offense so dynamic is to have two guys like that. We were having great visits with Christian Parker about, the trouble that it gave his defense. And, when he was in Philly and the challenges that it causes other defenses when you have two dynamic receivers like CD and George. But certainly, it was our first year with George. Couldn't have gone better. I think George has a chance to, believe it or not, get better. And playing alongside CD there, it keeps everybody honest. And, they aren't the only weapons on our team. You throw in the tight end room, you you throw in the running game. There's a lot that goes into complementing and giving everybody a chance to have success. So I really do think George believe it or not, has a chance to have just as good a year, if not better. And, obviously the expectations are he'll be in the building working alongside his teammates and working, to create an identity for this football team to have success.
And in terms of, I just got to ask it, everyone always wants to know with the franchise tag, trade conversations. I mean, you just
There's zero interest in a trade for George Pickens.
Mm-hmm. Zero. He's going to be a Cowboy this year.
Zero interest.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Again, Steven on with Mad Dog Radio on Sirius XM.
Well, and that is the drama, if there is any. Will Pickens show up? They've got 2 voluntary OTAs coming up, June 1st, 2nd, and 4th, and then again June 8, 9, and 11. Those are voluntary. The mandatory minicamp is June 16th through the 18th. That's the one that Pickens will have to show up to. The others, he doesn't necessarily have to. So we'll see.
We'll see. But by all accounts, he's doing everything that you would expect him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently working out with CD and with Dak. And he's
like trying to find a trade partner with his agent?
They surveyed, apparently, the landscape and realized, all right, well, there's nobody interested. Not for that price tag. Not in a trade scenario.
Well,
so go to work.
I think everybody's just like the Cowboys. They're waiting. They want to see another year of George Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
Can he do the same thing this year that he did last year? And then if he does, I would assume the Cowboys will probably try and do something with him and keep him in Dallas for the extended future. We'll see what happens. So much going on today, Dallas Cowboys, but it is it's Spurs Day, as we react to what happened with the San Antonio Spurs last night, losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves 104-102 last night, Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals. Game 2 is tomorrow. Who do you blame? Go to our SASportsStar.com. You can go there and get on YouTube and vote in our poll. Who you blaming for it? Right now, it's one game. They'll be fine. That's the winner as we sit here right now. We'll return and talk more about that when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that? Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747. Or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds, AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, wherever you're celebrating Cinco de Mayo, remember license number 149, AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
All right, our Sports Star crew, listen up. If you want to keep winning in life like our San Antonio Spurs do on the court, head over to Game Day Men's Health. Cibolo Shirts or Alamo Ranch, the roster stacked with all-stars just like our Spurs. Experts trained in hormonal health, erectile dysfunction, weight loss, advanced peptide therapies. Why go to the G League when you can take your talents straight to the top, baby? Whether you're tired all the time, you've got low energy, maybe you've got some weight gain or the brain fog, maybe you need a little help in the bedroom. I'm not here to judge. They've got you covered. Their Hall of Fame team and services like testosterone replacement and peptide therapies will get you back in the game. Located in Alamo Ranch, or choose the Cibolo Shirts location on I-35 and 3009 across the highway from HEB. Call 830-376-9100 or visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com and book your appointment today. Win back your health, win back your life. It's game day. Let's go. That's 830-376-9100.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off Duration, Woodscapes, and Super Deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
I need a little ranch, step to the ranch. There's a new flavor in town, the Jalapeno Ranch Club at Chick-fil-A. With that juicy Chick-fil-A original spicy or grilled chicken, a buttermilk ranch bun, candied bacon, pepper jack cheese, and jalapeno ranch sauce. It's got big ranch vibes with a little heat. Chick-fil-A's new Jalapeno Ranch Club, available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
I keep seeing celebrities posts, me in the 90s versus now. Well, the person staring at me in the mirror is definitely not the same person that could pull off bootcut jeans. Time creeps up on us so slowly. You don't see it until suddenly you do. Same thing goes for your bills. $1 here, an uptick there. It's a slow burn until one day you realize the price you're paying now is way higher than when you signed up. But at T-Mobile, customers had the lowest wireless bills versus Verizon and AT&T over the past 5 years. And with T-Mobile on their experience plans, you get a 5-year price guarantee, so you know exactly what your plan price will be for the next 5 years. So at least that's one thing that won't change over time. I can't guarantee you'll still look good with frosted tips, but T-Mobile can give you a clear guarantee on your wireless plan.
Lower bills based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 21 to Q4 25 compared to average AT&T and Verizon bills. Comparison excludes discounts, credits, and optional charges. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
Missions fans, celebrate Tuesdays for the Cultura at Wolf Stadium with AARP $2 Tuesdays. Presented by San Antonio Sports Star. $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more every Tuesday home game. Get your tickets at samissions.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for Window Nation. You know, May's weather is pretty nice, but those hot summer days are going to be here soon. Don't wait until the heat hits to try to avoid high energy bills. Upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows with new energy-efficient ones and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com now to book a consultation.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Spurs find themselves trailing the Minnesota Timberwolves 1-0. Game 2 tomorrow night. They'll tip inside the Frostbank Center at 8:30. Dallas Cowboys hosting veteran cornerback Adoree Jackson for a free agent visit. Jackson recorded 55 tackles and 1 pick last year with the Philadelphia Eagles. The defending champion Seattle Seahawks have signed former Cowboys edge rusher Dante Fowler Jr.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope everybody's gotten over their funk of the Spurs losing Game 1.
No.
You're still in that funk.
We are going to be in that funk until about 8:30 tomorrow night.
All right, then you're out of the funk, and
or at least today. You got 24 hours to be in your funk, and I know it's Taco Tuesday, and it's also Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, by the way.
Tuesday! So if you're getting off work or you're knocking off work to go enjoy Cinco de Mayo, maybe that will help you get out of your funk, and you'll wake up tomorrow feeling bad for another reason.
Well, that's okay because it's self-inflicted.
Well,
the Spurs lost. There's nothing we can do about it. Although I think fans, you think you can anyway. I always think I can, especially if I have money on the game.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't bet on the Spurs game last night. I just wanted to watch, just and soak it all in. Won some money on the Knicks, though.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering.
I wasn't.
Well, now you know.
I wasn't. Although you did win a bet from one of our listeners if he's got the stones to call in, because called in yesterday, said the Spurs would sweep and wanted to bet you a beer.
He did it, and he said he didn't see any way the Spurs lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves at all.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, Minnesota's a little bit better than you think, and they'll win a couple of games in this series. But I picked the Spurs to win in 6, and I'm going to stick with that. And so, but I just think Minnesota deserves a little bit of respect, and they're going to win a couple of games in my mind. They've already won one.
Well,
so.
and again, when you say Spurs in 6, you are expecting 2 losses. What you weren't expecting was the game 1 loss at home, to give up home court advantage just like that. And last night was such a great basketball game. Good defensive, old school basketball game. First one to 100 wins.
Yep.
And damn it was them. But had Julian Champagne's shot dropped, we're celebrating today, yet all the issues that were there last night in game 1 would still be there. You would just feel better about it because they would have escaped their home court with a victory had that shot dropped.
And I think Champagne hits that shot 8 out of 10 times. And it just happened to be the one time that he didn't. He had a great look. I know a lot of people were wondering why Mitch didn't take a timeout there. I think I had no problem with it because I think Champagne handled it brilliantly. He let the runner go by, and then there was nobody around him. Takes the shot, and it just didn't happen to fall. So, but I would trust Julian Champagne with that shot every game if it comes down to that.
Spurs do lose, and the blame game last night on social media. I don't know about you guys, but you watch a game like that, you can't just turn the TV off and go to bed. So, although would have been easier to toss and turn than read some of the crap I saw on social media, right? But the blame game, and that is our poll question on YouTube. You can access that through SASportsStar.com. With the T-Wolves taking game 1, who takes the blame? Blame Mitch, blame Wemby, blame Fox, or it was one game, they'll be fine. That is getting 57% right now. One game, they'll be fine.
I'm happy to hear that.
Mitch getting 17%, Fox 16%, Wemby, actually, somebody voted for Wemby. There's 11% of voters that blame Wemby for last night's game. And you have a game like that, there is plenty of blame to go around. For those of you that think that Mitch should have called a timeout, I was glad that he didn't, although I think Wemby thought a timeout was coming. He hesitated as soon as he got that rebound. If you're playing armchair quarterback, and I'm completely fine with the shot, Julian Champagne had the look. It was open. He was in rhythm. It didn't drop. But they only needed 2 to send that thing to overtime, and Devin Vassell was cutting to the basket wide open. Hindsight being 20/20, I wish Julian would have passed it to Devin Vassell for an easy money, and we play 5 more minutes.
Well,
but I was okay with the shot selection.
And again, I would take that every game if it comes down to that. I think Julian Champagne has proven that he's going to make more of those than he's going to miss. It was a wide open look, and I'm okay. I don't think you get a better look if that's what they were looking for by calling a timeout. In all honesty, because you let Minnesota regroup too.
Yep.
And as Mitch Johnson said, I mean, they looked a little disorganized at that point in time, so he decided not to take a timeout, and they got the shot they wanted. I understand what you're talking about because Vassell was wide open, and would they have had time to get the ball inside though and make the layup there? I don't know. I mean, I'd have to go back and look at it, but
you give yourself again being hindsight 20/20. I was fine with the 3-point shot because that's what they were setting up for, but maybe that hesitation from Wemby took that away. Maybe Julian in his mind, once he got the pass, saw the dude flying by, set and shot, maybe he didn't think he had enough time to pass it to Devin Vassell, although I don't know that he was looking for Devin Vassell. And quite honestly, the fact that a guy like Julian Champagne is willing to take that shot because there are a lot of guys that would have looked to pass because they don't want the pressure of taking a game-winning, or in this case, game-losing shot. But Julian said everything about it felt great.
It felt pretty solid. Yeah, that's all I got for it. Felt pretty solid. Missed a shot. On to the next.
On to the next.
That's it. You got to have a short memory if you're a guy like that, and he'll take the shots. I thought Devin Vassell, he was about 50%, wasn't he? I think from the 3-point stripe, and
yeah, 3 assists.
as was Champagny, and the only guys that weren't hitting the three was Wemby and Fox. They struggled mightily from there. What 0 of 11, something?
0 of 12.
12. So. They've got to hit a couple of those and make some shots, or do something completely different with Wemby, where he's not out there taking those threes, or at least certainly not 8 of them.
So now down 0-1 in the series. Your reaction, you want to get something off your chest about what you saw last night. It's kind of one of those therapy days here on the Blitz because, well, people are pissed. We're listening. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Josh, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. And I think the blame game, there's plenty of blame, like Gelb said, to go around. Wemby and Fox, yes, they had bad games. Yes, they made as many threes last night as we made, as us fans made threes last night, too. Yes, they deserve some. Yes, I believe most of the blame needs to go to Mitch. I also am in the boat with Joe, and both of us said on Friday with our big brains that it's going to be a 6-game series. So I'm also now calmed down to know, hey, we're on the right path of being right, because Joe and I just love to be right. So
yeah, you really
now
are.
With this, yeah, and with Mitch, I think benching Keldon Johnson in the very end to bring in Julius Champagny to me was the hardest thing. If Keldon Johnson is supposed to be this leader or one of the big names on the team, Mr. Sixth Man of the Year, I've never known a Sixth Man of the Year to be sitting on the bench in the last couple minutes. Again, I also don't think he made this team realize how tough Minnesota is, because like we've been saying, Minnesota plays tough defense, and they're going to be a very tough and solid team. So what I think Mitch needs to do is get these guys in the gym, playing in and banging on the weights, maybe eating some nails, getting a little tougher, maybe going to the hybrid school of wrestling and get some moves out there. So when some of those players for the Minnesota Timberwolves decide to stand and try to push Wemby around and have him hurt his elbow, which I was scared. Everyone was scared. We all know. They got some moves to go and retaliate. So we can get
they're going to get all of that in 48 hours.
I want to know where you're happy houring at, Josh.
Come on, man. Josh is at home.
Well, there's no way. There's no strenuous stuff going to happen with one day off.
None.
In between games. So they are who they are right now. That's you win, lose, or draw with that. So. Going to be interesting to see. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. We got a lot of folks that want to chime in, Minnick, so I think we'll just stick with this. What do you say?
Absolutely.
Might
Michael,
as well.
David, Kevin, you got your lines. Hang on.
Yep, hang on.
Your call's coming up.
Yep, Spurs basketball when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And let me tell you what, the best place to go watch Game 2, come on out and party with us out at Novo Brewery. We're going to be out there broadcasting live tomorrow from 2 to 6. And then, of course, the game is going to be on tip-off at 8:30. Novo Brewery, it's attached to North Star Mall right there. It's got its own entrance to North Star Mall, or you can come through the mall and get there as well. They are open late. They're not dependent on what the mall hours are, so don't worry about that. And again, they've got their own entrance. You can park right there in the parking lot, come right on in and enjoy yourself. Whether you're eating, drinking, doing both, it doesn't make any difference. It's a perfect spot to come in. They've got screens all over the place. They've got 60 craft beers on tap. They've got domestic beer on tap as well. Plus, they've got a full bar. If you would rather have a cocktail, they can whip you up any kind of cocktail that you can do. And the food is absolutely fantastic. They've got everything from wings to French fries to burgers, sandwiches. The picanha skewers are my go-to. Minix likes the grilled shrimp. Look, there's a lot of great stuff. They've even got ribeye steaks that are fantastic. So no matter what you're in the mood for, Novo Brewery can take care of you. And bring the family. They got a kids' play area there. The kids can go play while you're watching the game. It is a perfect thing to bring the family or a group, whatever you want to do. Novo Brewery. It's their very first Texas location, by the way. And again, we will be broadcasting live at Novo Brewery tomorrow from 2 to 6. Make plans to come on out and say hello to us and party with us. If you want to check them out before you go, you can do that. NovoBrew.com. That's N-O-V-O Brew.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Mom deserves more than flowers and a card. Enter to win the JTV Mother's Day Getaway at jtv.com/sweepstakes. You could win a 6-night cruise to Grand Cayman, Mexico, and the Bahamas, plus $1,000 spending money and a $1,000 gift card to shop JTV. It's a mom's dream come true. Enter the JTV Mother's Day Getaway now at jtv.com/sweepstakes. And new customers receive a one-time $25 off of a purchase of $50 or more.
What does it mean to work with one of the largest personal injury law firms in Texas? At Thomas J. Henry, it means we can put our team of experts to work for you. Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com. The name you know, the firm you trust. Principal office, San Antonio.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off duration, woodscapes, and super deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, Game 2 on Wednesday night. Can the Spurs bounce back against the Timberwolves? And how about the Thunder-Laker matchup? We'll talk about that and plenty more. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Julius Randle. Shot clock running down. Comes down to perhaps this. Off the heel. Rebound. Wemby. Go. He said go. No timeout coming. Charean step back for three. Off the side of the rim. Cannot get it to go. And Minnesota comes in on the road and steals game 1.
I felt pretty solid. Yeah, that's all I got for it. Felt pretty solid. Missed a shot. On to the next.
Love that answer by Julian Champagny. I really do. Look, I missed the shot. I wasn't there, but you know what? Next game, let's go. And I like that. You got to have a short memory. If you're a shooter like that, you're going to make some, you're going to miss some, and you just move on and do it again. But everybody happy, I think, with a shot that was wearing silver and black. I know Mitch Johnson was, certainly.
And again, and Mitch Johnson even said it. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, why didn't you call a timeout? No need to call a timeout there.
Yeah, he just did a good job, obviously, with the sense of urgency. We were down, excuse me, and so we were trying to play quick because it was a math problem at some point in terms of possessions and time left and what the score was. And he had some great multiple efforts there to keep us in the game. We got some good looks, missed them. And offensive rebounds has been an emphasis for us all year, but especially in those situations, you got to crash. And then on the last play, we got a rebound, and it felt like they weren't organized, and there was enough time for us to push the ball and get a look, and we didn't push it right away. So it got to be that death knock time where you got to call a timeout or not. I thought Dylan did a good job pushing the ball, kicked it ahead of Julian. Julian had a flyby, got a three-pointer in rhythm. I had no problem with the shot. That was a great shot. I hope he shoots it every time.
Yeah, I'm with Mitch there. I'd give him that shot every time if it's a game winner. It was wide open. He just didn't hit it. But you heard Mitch talking about there was a little hesitation. Wemby hesitated for a second or two, and I think it really it cost him a little bit because once Dylan Harper got the pass from Wemby, he was moving down the floor because he realized time was running out.
And again, you look at everything that Mitch said there. The final couple minutes, Spurs rallying back, and they got back into that game, and Julian Champagny was a big reason why.
Yeah, it's just 9. The NBA, you see guys come back from 20 all the time. We've done it a couple of times this year. That team has done it a couple of times this year. So I don't really think you're ever fully out of a game until the clock is over. You're down 9, down 10 with 3 minutes to go. I think it was 4 minutes to go. We weren't sitting there hanging our heads talking about, oh, well, we're not going to win this game. We can't get back in this game, because we did. And then we gave ourselves the best shots with all the mistakes that we made throughout the game, and we just didn't finish. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, but it is. And it's one game, and they realize that. And I'm sure Mitch is preaching that. He preached it after the game last night. He's going to preach it today if they got together. And he'll preach it tomorrow when they get together for shoot-around if they do that. It's one game. You got to go even this thing up and then move on. And then you try to go up to Minnesota and steal at least one there. But again, it's a long series, and I think this is going to be a long series. At least 6 games. I could see a scenario where it goes 7.
And again, you lose game 1 by 2, a chance to win it on that final shot. Wemby has 11 points in the game. De'Aaron Fox has 10 points in the game. Together, they were 0 for 12 from three-point range.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch had some moments last night that, like that early challenge, that was dumb.
Yeah.
So who takes the blame? That is our poll question on YouTube today. You can go to YouTube, watch, comment there, participate in the poll. Who takes the blame? Mitch, Wemby, Fox, or it was one game, they'll be fine, which right now 59% leading the way. So Spurs fans still very confident according to the poll. Then you read a bunch of the comments, and I'm not really sure. And I know Spurs fans also need to get things off their chest today. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. Or you can dial us up, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Michael, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, man. Excuse me. This is Mayor Martinez from Sandy Oaks calling in.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Mayor?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, so I was at the game, right? It was a good time. I know you made a comment about the challenge early on. I mean, the whole crowd was buying into it. So, I'm not going to blame Mitch for anything like that. Out of the whole thing, the one thing I could take away is that, especially with Prop A and Prop B passing, they better fix the gridlock, man. We were stuck in the parking lot for 25 minutes. That's my complaint for the entire game, right? It is what it is. Shots don't fall. I still have faith in my Spurs. But these county commissioners and city councilmen better fix the gridlock when trying to get out of the game, man, because being there for 25
cones?
minutes.
We have another politician that always wants to blame cones, and yeah, you're right. I mean, but you go to the Frostbank Center and it's going to suck getting in and out of there. That's part of it. David, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. I was thinking we needed probably one more thing on the poll question was that, man, you probably want to give Minnesota a little bit of kudos. We were all talking today about, at the water cooler conversation, you always got that, you got the kids playing inside the gym and then they come outside because their time is put up and they got to play outside with the men, that are dressed like, Olnick out there. And just every once in a while, even though they're better talented, so on and so forth, those old guys from the Y's can play basketball. I think that's going to be the adjustment more than anything else, is that we need to kind of see, and, I may be wrong. I know Joe wouldn't be wrong in whatever he says, but what I'm trying to say is, but what I'm trying to say is, I think as part of it may be, they just ran into a different type of basketball player. Those old men, Minnesota had some old crusty or older crusty players.
I get what you're trying to say, man. You're losing your thought because of age, maybe. But, you look at a guy like Mike Conley, who was brilliant down the stretch, old salty vet. Naz Reid is a guy that, at one point, a lot of Spurs fans thought, man, he'd look good in the silver and black.
Yes.
You go from there. So, welcome to playoff basketball, San Antonio Spurs. You had a little appetizer with Portland in the first round. Now you're really getting playoff basketball. And good news for the San Antonio Spurs. They just sent their injury report for Game 2. Carter Bryant, questionable.
All right.
He was out. He ain't doubtful.
Well, he was questionable all day yesterday until they ruled him out, so we'll see what happens with him. But, again, I think Carter Bryant, maybe he helps.
Carter Bryant isn't the reason they won and lost the game.
No, it's the big guns that need to step up, Fox and Wemby. Those two guys need to play better.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Kevin, you're on the Blitz. What's up?
Yeah, we could play blame game all we want, but honestly, Minnesota's just not a good matchup when we're not shooting from the outside. You got Naz Reid, you got Julius Randle, and you got Rudy Gobert covering that paint. If we can't drive into that paint or body them out of that paint, it's really tough to score. So, and that's what they were doing last night. So either we need to break out French vanilla and get both of Wemby and Fournette out there to help kind of push those guys out of the paint so we can start driving the ball, or we need to start making our shots. And that's something I think that Spurs need to address in the offseason as well, is to get a big download to help Wemby in the starting lineup.
Well, and Luke Cornett wasn't doing it last night, but you're right. Look, what Minnesota did in the final minutes of the fourth quarter, maybe the Spurs should try some of that. They were putting Randle on a screen situation against Wemby to move him away so the guys could drive in without getting it swatted away. It was genius. It worked to perfection. That's how Minnesota built their 9-point lead there late. And it worked great. And I thought that was a great adjustment by Finch, the coach of the Timberwolves. Spurs came back, though, and they rallied back and damn near won the game. But that adjustment alone, with Wemby with his 12 blocks, he got him out of the paint, and they were able to drive.
And offensively, it was, minute, 2 minutes. It was late, and it was when they were closing that gap. Wemby had that really nice dunk. Attack the rim. Attack the rim, especially when the three isn't dropping. And again, playoff basketball. We knew it was going to be a physical game. A buddy of mine last night during the game, Chip Ingram, who owns Rupub, said, when was the last time you saw 59-58 with 5 minutes left in the game? Right? I wrote him back 2005 NBA Finals against Detroit. Mm-hmm. He just texted, let's hope this doesn't remind us of the bad boy Pistons beating up on Jordan and the Bulls in the early 90s, teaching them how to be tough and to get through a playoff series.
What's interesting about that, though, there were 75 or 65 points scored in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy. Both teams are capable of scoring points.
But if you have...
Their defenses are good.
If you have Wemby closer to his average and Fox closer to his average, it's a game, right?
Sure.
And the Spurs, I mean, you cannot have your two superstars both struggle offensively in the same game. One of those guys can struggle, and we've seen that throughout this season, especially from February on. One guy can be off. That's fine. Somebody else is going to pick up the slack. I mean, Vassell had 14 last night. Champagnie had 17. Steph Castle, before fouling out, had 17. Harper with 18 off the bench. Keldon Johnson gave you 11. If you get a typical game from Wemby or from Fox offensively, the Spurs win that game. As bad as it feels, they took a shot to win the game with no time left. And if you're the Spurs trying to feel good about yourself, that's what you look at when you're going through your film study. Yeah, Minnesota gets a lot of credit for getting them off their game, but as poorly as the Spurs played, it's not like they're Philadelphia soul-searching in their film study today. They're going, yep. Clean a little bit of that up, and they win that game.
Look, I can't disagree with that at all. I look at what Minnesota did to Jamal Murray in the Denver series, and I think they're trying to do the same thing with De'Aaron Fox. Can he overcome that? Murray couldn't. Can Fox overcome that? He needs to step up. He needs to play. And then what does Wemby do? Where does he exploit? And I'm sure they're looking at all of that in the film study.
Let's go back to the phones. They are stacked. So if you grab a line, hang on. We'll get to you as quickly as we can. Kevin, get it off your chest, man. You're on the Blitz.
Yeah, I'll go again. Your news of Carter Bryant is going to help us. Yeah, I never left. Y'all never hung up on me.
Oh, sorry, dude. Sorry, man.
Sorry,
Roy,
bro.
you're on the
Now
Blitz.
we
What's
did.
going on, man? Roy, you're up.
Hey, what's up, Joe? What's up, Jason? Quickly, I just wanted to say what really got to me was, Wemby having 12 blocks. That's most of those blocks were, I believe, or I would assume, inside 5-10 feet. So that's a potential 24 points that Timberwolves could have had. And the fact that they didn't have those points and he had 12 blocks, it just kind of scares me a little bit. They only lost by 2, but it could have been a lot more. And then the fact that the Timberwolves were horrific from the free throw line. If they get another, say, 5 or 6 of those, we're talking about a 5-6 point game there. Well, what do you guys think?
Yeah, Roy, I understand exactly what you're talking about. We can sit here and if and that and what happens if this and all that, and it doesn't make any difference.
The ifs and nuts and candy and whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the Spurs lost the game. It's over. Game 1's in the books. However it happened, it's just going to be interesting to see now what the adjustments are. And again, I don't think Wemby goes 0 for 8 from the 3-point stripe. I really hope he doesn't take 8 3-point shots tomorrow night. I hope he gets to the basket a little bit more, but he will take a few, and I have every intention of thinking he's going to make a few of those. So they're going to play better, but again, what I love about this series and why I think it's going to be a good series and close games throughout is the Spurs and the Minnesota Timberwolves are both defensive-minded teams.
Yep.
They play good defense, and that's going to be the thing. What offense can respond better to the other's defense? That's going to make the difference. And, well, last night it was Minnesota.
And I know we're all pissed because the Spurs lost the game. But what a great game.
Oh, it was fantastic.
I mean, the Timberwolves' largest lead was 9.
Yep.
The Spurs' largest lead was 7.
Yep.
Nobody got a double-digit lead last night. It was tied 17 times. There were 19 lead changes in that game. The unfortunate part is most of the country probably didn't get to watch it because they buried that thing on Peacock.
That's a damn shame.
And, if you were watching on NBC, you had that Knicks blowout of a game. Last night might have been the best playoff game this postseason.
I can't think of another one.
Even though the Spurs lost, and that sucks, last night was a great game until the final score if you're a Spur fan. Josh, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. Hey, I was just going to say, first of all, there's no reason for us to go to any sort of panic. The Spurs were knocking off some rust. They had 6-7 days off, whatever it might have been. And then you look, and Anthony Edwards coming off the bench, that's not going to happen very often. I think I saw a stat today that said he's played 48 playoff games and never come off the bench.
Right.
I mean, that brought them a spark with no doubt. And then, if you look at kind of the end of the game, I thought those dribble handoffs with Wemby at the top of the key, what are they going to do to stop that? I mean, if they can go to that, and I like what the last caller said about not settling for threes. All right, that would have been Joe. I'm sorry, Joe. And just getting Wemby to the basket, not settling. And what the last thing I'll say is, what is up with Julius Randle? I mean, the dude, you got a 2-point lead. Every basketball coach in the world is screaming when he takes a shot with 10 seconds left.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. Again, if I could predict something, and if it goes 6 games as our prediction is, I don't see double-digit wins for either one of these teams. I just don't.
We're going to get a lot more of what we saw last night.
I absolutely believe that. That was the regular season. That's what happened then, and I think it's going to happen in the playoffs too.
Let's get another call in here before the break. Spurlock, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Hey, just a few things, Castle fouling out last 2 games in the last 5 minutes of the game. He needs to adjust a little bit on that, stay aggressive. But most importantly, man, the fans need to bring it. The Spurs need you guys. Whoever's going to the game, bring it. No matter what the score is, you got to bring it. I didn't hear the no defense too much. It just seemed real lethargic, real quiet. Anyways, that's all I got.
Spurlock, you're the second person that has said it didn't seem all that loud in there. It seemed loud. It wasn't like 2005 NBA Finals loud, but it was loud. Hell, the placards that they handed out said defense on them. Everybody, for the most part, wore their shirts last night. I don't know that I'm going to say the crowd sucked last night. I didn't see it that way.
On TV it looked good, but it's hard to say how rowdy it was because I was not in the building. I was watching it on TV, and so I don't know. Look, my experience is that Spurs fans are pretty damn good. And so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I think with the game being as important as it's going to be tomorrow night, I would imagine Spurs fans are going to bring it. Mm-hmm. And it won't be because the Spurs fans didn't do their part. That's for sure. If the Spurs should happen to drop that one, I think it's going to be interesting. We'll talk a little more Spurs basketball if you want to when we return here because everybody wants to get that off their chest. And I like the fact that the callers' minutes are going both ways here. Yeah. Little respect for the opponent. Again, Spurs are going to win this series, but they are up against a damn good basketball team in the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I think now everybody realizes that. We'll return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, I want to tell you about Window Nation. May's weather's pretty nice, and it has been pretty nice. It hasn't been too hot. We've had a lot of rain and all of that kind of stuff, but look, we're in San Antonio. Those hot summer days are coming, right? They're going to be here soon. That means high utility bills from, your air conditioner running constantly. And one reason why it does is because a lot of that air conditioning is seeping out of those windows that you've had for years. Why don't you think about upgrading your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale? Think about that. You can replace all of your windows and get half of them for free. It is an incredible deal. Plus, you could even get them with no money down, no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. You're not going to find a better deal than that. That is for sure. WindowNation.com is where you want to go because, look, Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty. They're also rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. But that lifetime warranty is what's interesting because it doesn't matter if your windows, you put them in today and you're in that house 20 years from now and something goes wrong, they're going to take care of you. That's what that lifetime warranty means. They will take care of you. They're going to stand behind everything they do. Window Nation, Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. It is going on now. You don't want to wait, though, because you don't know when the sale is going to end. So go to WindowNation.com. That's WindowNation.com. That's how you book your consultation.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more at every Tuesday home game. First pitch at 7:05. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
I've taken up candle making.
Nigel, the whole office smells like wet dog and gym socks.
My nose is highly refined.
Folks, if your home smells a little off, it might be your AC. Portamoon's Breathe Easy package pulls and deep cleans your blower motor, blower wheel, and housing, cleans your coil in place, disinfects the inside of your AC cabinet, and installs a UV light to help zap bacteria and other nasties hiding in your unit. All for just $6.95.
Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899. License number TSAOG 141-074E M16004.
All right, our Sports Star crew, listen up. If you want to keep winning in life like our San Antonio Spurs do on the court, head over to Game Day Men's Health. Cibolo Shirts or Alamo Ranch, the roster stacked with all-stars just like our Spurs. Experts trained in hormonal health, erectile dysfunction, weight loss, advanced peptide therapies. Why go to the G League when you can take your talents straight to the top, baby? Whether you're tired all the time, you've got low energy, maybe you've got some weight gain or the brain fog, maybe you need a little help in the bedroom. I'm not here to judge. They've got you covered. Their Hall of Fame team and services like testosterone replacement and peptide therapies will get you back in the game. Located in Alamo Ranch or choose the Cibolo Shirts location on I-35 and 3009 across the highway from HEB. Call 830-376-9100 or visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com and book your appointment today. Win back your health, win back your life. It's game day. Let's go. That's 830-376-9100.
Harry Douglas here. I don't wait for birthdays to celebrate. I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes like rich vanilla birthday cake with buttery funfetti goodness. Seriously, it's unapologetically extra in the best way. And it's sugar-free, so I get all that cake flavor without the guilt. It's tiny, portable, and ready for whenever I need a quick boost. I keep one with me because you never know when you'll need a little party energy. The funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. On Rangers game days, prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits one, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now, you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Boy, what a day it's been as we await game number 2 in this Western Conference semifinal series. Between the Spurs and the Minnesota Timberwolves, Spurs find themselves on the short end of a 1-0 lead. I'm Joe, he's Jason. Hopefully that changes. That 1-1 will look a lot better than 2-0.
Well, obviously they need more from Wemby offensively. They need more from Fox offensively. And one of the callers mentioned Steph Castle fouling out, and that's something that Mitch Johnson has got to work on with old Steph.
There's some wisdom stuff there in terms of understanding foul trouble in situations and not putting yourself in situations. But it's tough. We ask him to be the all-NBA defender that he is with the level of physicality that he has to play with. And I thought he got called for some tough ones. I'm sure there's some little things that we can talk to him about to try to be better with that. But yeah, I think we want him to play hard. We want him to play physical, and we'll continue to help him in terms of figuring out ways to impose his physicality without maybe getting cheap ones. But the way that we want him to play, he's probably staring at 4 to 5 fouls every game in these playoffs just because of who he's guarding and how we want him to play.
Well, let me tell you, and I'm not here to blame the refs or start anything, but the foul he fouled out on, I don't know what the hell he's supposed to do. Julius Randle pushed him down, and they called the foul on Steph. And so I'm not sure exactly what he was supposed to do there. And he was very frustrated by that, obviously, because he's out of the game. But, again, that's a vet move by Julius Randle. And I think, again, that's part of the advantage I think Minnesota has in some respects with some of the players, that they do have those guys that have some playoff experience and know how to get away with things that maybe a Steph Castle and a Dylan Harper and even a Wemby to some extent just haven't had the experience to do yet.
And there were some, as in every basketball game, some calls where you go, what the, right?
But on both sides, quite frankly, yes.
And maybe that's what Mitch was doing with that dumb challenge early, knowing that, man, Steph's going to need that foul back later.
Yeah.
Although it was unsuccessful. But that made zero sense to me when he challenged that when so early. And then, when Castle fouls out, I mean, Dylan Harper knows he's got to step up.
I mean, physicality is real. I think he does a great job in putting himself in positions to stop the other guy's best player, and that's his assignment mostly every night, and he does a great job of that. So, I mean, just him being physical, that's a part of his game. Obviously, we'd love to have him on the floor, but when you have a task so big like that, I mean, it's kind of hard not to play as physical as he plays.
And he's going to continue to play physical. That's just the player that he is. So, I mean, again, Mitch Johnson said it better than any of us could. He's going to get 4 or 5 fouls a game, most likely. It's just getting that 6th one you don't want him to do. But and again, I think that hurt them down the stretch. I mean, it was a little over 3 minutes when he fouled out, left in the game. And could he have made a difference? Well, I guess we'll never know.
It's interesting when you think about the defensive battle that we saw last night. And both teams got to 30 in one quarter, and that was in the fourth. It was 35-30 in the fourth quarter. And obviously Minnesota outscored the Spurs by 5, but every other quarter was in the 20s.
Yeah.
And if you're the Spurs and you're watching the film today and whatever they talked about at Shoot Around and whatever soul searching, we've seen games this season, during the regular season, when they were just god-awful from 3, and they lose those games. They were 10 of 36 from 3, 27%. And the kind of crazy part, they weren't getting as many offensive rebounds as we're used to, so the second chance points certainly weren't there. In fact, San Antonio got outscored in second chance points 20-13. You lose the game by 2. And Wemby and Fox were awful on the offensive end, especially from 3. I think you wake up tomorrow morning and, as a Spur fan, very confident that this series will be even 1-1 as it shifts to Minnesota for Game 3 on Friday night.
I think you should be confident because they're going to play better. Wemby's going to play better. I think Fox will play better too. The thing is, Anthony Edwards is going to be one more game healthier. Does he start tomorrow night, or does he come off the bench the way they did? He only played 25 minutes last night.
Yeah.
So that's very un-Anthony Edwards-like.
It is, and I'll tell you, I mean, give that dude a ton of credit. Because, obviously, I mean, we get off the air at 6. I get to the arena about 6:20. And he's going through his warm-up. Doors aren't even open yet. And I'm watching Anthony Edwards warm up for, 20 minutes or so, whatever he's doing. And he's out there. He's shooting the basketball. But I kept thinking, all right, we're going to see him explode to the rim, really test that leg. And he didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
And we've seen guys do workouts coming back from medical and what they go through. And you didn't really see any of that from Anthony Edwards. And I was like, well, I mean, is this a decoy? Is this just and then when he comes off the bench and he gets in there, I mean, dude played extremely well, and he's certainly effective. The fact that he was out there just 9 days after that knee injury is surprising. Let's talk about it with our injury update, doing it a little early on this Tuesday. Injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. Dr. Christopher Tucker joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And Doc, from a medical perspective, Anthony Edwards playing last night after that hyperextended knee, how nuts is that in medical doctor talk?
Yeah. Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, it's hard to know. Sometimes these fairly, I hate to say ambiguous, but certainly vague diagnoses of bone bruise and hyperextension, that could really be a wide range of things that's really going on. A bone bruise could just simply be that. And, there's a difference to the knee. Now, if that bruise is a piece of a bigger problem where he's putting himself at risk because he's got some additional, maybe ligament sprain or something else in the knee going on, yeah, I mean, he may be putting himself at a little bit of risk by playing, but, weighing the cost benefit, for playing versus not, obviously they made the decision to have him play. So it's a little hard to know without really knowing the details of the actual injury. But if it is just a bruise, there's really not much risk in playing through the pain.
Dr. Tucker, I'm curious, when you hyperextend your knee the way he did, and I think we've all seen how he did it when he came down and it just didn't go where it was supposed to go. What does that mean exactly, hyperextending your knee?
Sure. So, the knee typically goes straight or, just maybe a little bit past straight, depending on how flexible you are. When you hyperextend it, that means basically the knee bends backwards more than it should. And depending on the flexibility of the structures that keep it from doing that in normal life, that kind of determines how bad the injury is. So, typically there's ligaments and meniscus and other soft tissues that support the bones. And when you push the joint past the point of normal, those things can get either just stretched a little bit, strained, or even torn or injured. And that's really, where the injury lies. So if he just simply bruised it and stretched it, but things kind of rebounded and he's playing through and his, musculature and strength is able to make up for that, so be it. But, there is always a possibility with a hyperextension injury that the major, structures of the knee that can really take you out, whether that's a meniscus or a ligament injury, that's certainly a possibility. So, hard to say exactly what the injury is, but anything's possible.
Well, and you look at that, and obviously he did play last night, and by some of the reports, hyperbaric chambers and all kinds of different things that he was doing to try to get himself healthy quickly, and obviously he played last night. But what are they doing for him today? What is he going to be like tomorrow after playing 25 hard minutes last night on that knee? Will there be any repercussions, or is he just good to go?
Yeah, it could be. Sure. I mean, you're describing some things that are, targeting healing of tissues and, all muscles and tendons and ligaments, take time to heal. We heal when we sleep and rest. So, anytime you have an injury, you have inflammation, you have stiffness. That's why, icing and taking your anti-inflammatories can help. Now, we're talking about, high-level athlete, high-level injury. He's obviously using all of the, adjuncts at his disposal, whether that's, biological supplements, whether that's hyperbaric oxygen. Obviously, they're just trying to put him in a position to have as much healing, oxygen and blood flow to the tissues as possible to try and get these things to heal. Obviously, there's a rate-limiting step to that, but, they're certainly putting him in a position, it sounds like, to continue to heal things that were sprained and strained. Those things won't heal, a torn ligament. So I think we're in that, realm of where this is just a bad sprain that's, kind of bruised but not damaged.
Well, Doc, in your opinion, if the doctors cleared him to play, they clearly thought that he wasn't going to damage that knee any further by allowing him to get on the court last night.
Yeah, I mean, this is all shared decision making. Obviously the doctor's expertise is taken into consideration, but whenever we're talking about professional athletes, especially at this point in the season, there's a lot of things at play, and a lot of voices, the athlete themselves, the agent, coach, and they're weighing a lot of, risks and benefits. As you said, we're all, we all take the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm, and we're not going to put a player in a position of putting themselves at risk for really serious injury. So agreed. If they clear him to play, he's clearly, safe to play. But, could he, strain it enough that, he's really going to be hurting for a lot longer? If he plays now versus if he takes 3 days off, that's, a decision that him and the trainers and everybody else obviously came to the decision it's worth playing, that night.
It's going to be interesting, obviously, the rest and rehab and whatnot today. By all accounts, he came through the game last night. Was great in the fourth quarter, unfortunately, for the Spurs. Now, Carter Bryant still listed as questionable for tomorrow night's game with that foot sprain. Obviously didn't play last night. Foot sprain, is that just a pain tolerance issue for Carter?
Could be. I mean, foot sprains is another bit of an ambiguous term. We worry about this point in the season, cumulative stress to the body. Hopefully it's just a ligament sprain and you're pushing through the pain. Grade 1, 2 sprains where there's stretch but not structural damage. You can come back sooner from those. I do always get concerned about, when people talk about foot sprains, worried about maybe a stress fracture to the bone that's maybe starting to show itself. Obviously that would be a more serious condition, but, that would require some advanced imaging, and obviously they wouldn't probably let him play through a stress fracture. So, foot sprain's a bit nebulous, but, hopefully it's just a situation where it's just a ligament sprain that you can play through the pain.
Dr. Christopher Tucker, always appreciate the knowledge and the insight. Our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com.
Fascinating stuff from the doc there. We appreciate him. And so it sounds like the Spurs are going to have to deal with Ant for the remainder of this series. He will be back in there. Hopefully Carter Bryant gets back sooner rather than later as well. Jason, the Timberwolves are working the refs.
Of course
you
they
heard
are.
Chris Finch last night.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy Gobert was asked about the goaltending or
Here we go.
non-goaltending. We'll tell you what he had to say. Coming up when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you, though, if you've been thinking about a water softener in your house, why would you mess with anything other than the best? And the absolute best is Connecticut. Look, they are the most popular water softener on the market. They've been serving San Antonio, South Texas, and the Hill Country for over 50 years. All their products are made in America, and I can tell you all of that, and it sounds great. But what I can tell you personally is it works. It works better than anything else I have ever had. And I've had several water softeners in other houses that I've lived in, but this Connecticut quality water softener is head and shoulders above anything else I've ever had. And you recognize that right away. It does not take long for you to see and feel the difference between whatever you had and a Connecticut quality water softener. It is a fantastic product. And I also love my reverse osmosis drinking station. That's right. They put one in my sink right there. So I've got basically bottled water at my kitchen sink without the bottle. And that's fantastic because I hated dragging in bottled water from the grocery store into my house. And then you open up the package, you got to put it all in the refrigerator or wherever you're putting it. You don't have to do that anymore. You just get out a glass, turn on the tap, and bam, there you go. You've got bottled water. It is a fantastic product. They're also still offering 0% interest for 12 months. So free money for 12 months. Look, there's no more excuses. If you've been thinking about doing this, you want to get it done, call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
We have meaningful basketball being played in San Antonio for the first time in years, and you know the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to go watch the games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. Open daily at 11, great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roof Hub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. Move over, Chips. There's a new crunchier MVP in the snack aisle. Enter pork rinds. Southern recipe pork rinds are low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein to keep you going. And the flavors, big, bold, crunchy. From sweet barbecue to hot honey, every bite brings that flavor-packed crunch you crave. Grab your favorites today at H-E-B or online at porkrinds.com. Southern recipe pork rinds are your snack time, crunch time hero.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Stephon Diggs, the former New England Patriots wide receiver, had his trial conclude today over an alleged 2025 assault on his personal chef. He has been acquitted. Stephon Diggs has been found not guilty. San Antonio Spurs find themselves down 1-0 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 2 tomorrow night inside the Frost Bank Center. They will tip things off at 8:30.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Reaction Tuesday, reacting to the Spurs' Game 1 loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. They are down 1-0. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and I'm feeling a little bit better about things. I think this therapy session, at least for me, Jason, has been a good thing.
It's what we're here for.
That's exactly right.
I mean, you need some look, we're all pissed Spurs lost last night. They're down 0-1.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't play good basketball.
Uh-huh.
They had a chance to win the game.
They did.
You're mad that they didn't win. But, I mean, you look at that Knicks game last night. If you're in Philadelphia, you're going, what happened, man? You got run over by a bus. What I find interesting is the gamesmanship that is now being played. It started last night. Chris Finch talking about Wemby's 12 blocks. Well, 4 or 5 of those should have been goaltending. and that was the theme today during the Minnesota media session. Rudy Gobert, goaltending. Are they planting the seed in the referee's mind that we've got to start calling goaltending when Wemby swats them out of the air?
Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. They're working the officials, and they're trying to put it out there that, look, you're missing. You're saying these are blocks, and when they're really goaltending, according to the Timberwolves. I've looked back at most of them, and I don't see that. I looked. I want to see, because when I first started hearing people complaining about that, I'm like, well, let me take a look. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. They all look pretty clean to me.
I mean, ESPN, I believe it was ESPN, had all 12 blocks on a video reel on Twitter. I'm biased, but I don't see 4 or 5 that could have gone the other way. But again, though, all you got to do is have that doubt. And Wemby's ability to block shots that you don't think anybody on planet Earth would be able to get to. Or even with he misses with one hand and somehow the other hand gets there. How can he do that without it being goaltending? How can the ball not be on its way down at that point? So I get how it could look. But also, Chris Finch, you do have the ability to challenge.
That's true.
And you didn't do it. And I trust you to challenge much more than I trust Mitch Johnson when to challenge. So if you didn't think in the moment those were 2 points you should have had, then don't bitch about it after the game.
Well, he's doing it, and he's working the officials. He's a veteran head coach. He's working the officials. That's exactly what he's doing. By the way, Anthony Edwards and Ayo Dosunmu are questionable for Game 2 tomorrow night against the Spurs. Now, I would assume Anthony Edwards is going to play, unless he's got some adverse effects from Game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Dosunmu, I believe is how you say it, he's obviously hasn't played yet. And if he comes back, that's another weapon that the Minnesota Timberwolves had that they haven't had for a while.
Well, and again, when you look at and you think about the adjustments for Game 2, and we'll talk a lot about this tomorrow, obviously, live at Novo Brewery. 2 to 6.
Absolutely, yes.
If you're the Spurs, somehow Mitch Johnson and that staff have to figure out how to get Wemby and De'Aaron Fox going offensively. I hate to say it's pretty simple. Those two have average games. One of those two has an average game. And I don't know, Steph Castle doesn't foul out. Spurs win that game. And the Spurs will win Game 2 if you get a normal offensive performance from Vic, period.
That a prediction?
I mean, well, it's a prediction. I mean, I just think about what Vic said last night, man. If things were different, then the game would have been different.
I think there was some good and some bad. And I think the bad was, as I said, not going to what we know. But, I mean, it's a lot on me because obviously my game wasn't good, wasn't feeling good tonight. And that's where the team is going to look for me, you know. And, you know, if I had been better, if the offensive leaders of our team had been better, it would have been different. So basically, if everything was different, it would have been different.
Yep. That sums it up pretty good, I think, if everything would have been different. Well, we'll see if it's different.
If we didn't miss so many shots, we would have won.
Tomorrow night, will it be different tomorrow night? I expect another dogfight inside the Frostbank Center tomorrow night. I really do. It's funny because I'm looking at a tweet here. I don't know who it's from, but it's highlights of last night and how physical the Timberwolves are being with Victor Wembanyama. I mean, they are banging him around, especially when Julius Randle's on him, or even Naz Reid throwing him to the ground there. And they're going to be physical with him, and we'll see if he can handle it. Let's take a break, though. And when we come back, we like we always do on a Tuesday, we get to talk to Mother Football. Charean Williams from ProFootballTalk.com. She joins us next here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If your house smells a little off right now, that could be your air conditioning. At Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, they've created what they are calling the Breathe Easy package to help kick that funk out of your system. What they're going to do is pull and deep clean your blower motor, blower wheel, and your AC housing. Clean the coil, disinfect the inside of your AC cabinet, then install a UV light to zap bacteria and other nasty stuff that's hiding in your unit. You're going to get cleaner air, a fresher home, and an AC system that smells like it should. The Breathe Easy package, created because a lot of you are trying to figure out, why does your house stink? If that's what it is, it's not socks underneath the couch. It could be your AC unit. So call Quartermoon and get that set up. 210-651-5899. Obviously, if you're dealing with any kind of plumbing emergency, AC emergency, Quartermoon is the best. 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
All right, step up. If you really know the Rangers, this is your game on Rangers Game Day. Make your call in the morning huddles, Ranger Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger who takes one deep. He hits one, you're in. Ranger tickets. He hits two. Then we're talking tickets and a hotel stay. Big swings, big rewards. Wake up with the morning huddle and cash in with the morning huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio and have been practicing law here since 1994. And in the past 30-plus years, I've helped hundreds of San Antonians injured by negligent drivers. If you've been injured in a car-truck collision, call me, 210-900-0400. I did want to let you know of a very disturbing trend I've seen that you really need to be aware of. If an attorney or someone acting on that attorney's behalf calls you after a traffic collision, with very limited exceptions, that is called barratry or solicitation. It's a crime and is unethical under our state bar rules. Do not answer these phone calls. Do not hire an unethical attorney. Neither I nor anyone in my firm will ever call you after a traffic collision. If you need my help, and if you've been injured in a traffic collision, I think you do, you'll need to call me. My name is Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Vehicle safety starts underneath. That's why the pros choose Napa for undercar solutions that stop safety issues before they become costly problems. Go further with complete repairs that restore stopping, steering, and stability. Then grow your business through trust and repeat visits. With premium rotors, pads, struts, and wheel hub assemblies, Napa has everything you need to keep undercar under control. That's Napa know-how.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a hospitality manager at a 5-star hotel.
So I just checked into room 318, but someone was in there.
Room 318. Oh, you were supposed to be booked in 813, which is now booked.
So what do we do?
How about rock, paper, scissors for who gets the bed?
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
She was the sister who went unnoticed.
A daffodil might look plain next to a lily, but on its own there is much to be admired.
Now, her greatest chapter is yet to come.
The most important thing is to be yourself.
From the world of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice comes a new BritBox original drama,
Mary you will flourish.
Based on the best-selling novel, The Other Bennett Sister, now streaming only on BritBox. Watch with a free trial at BritBox.com.
Michelle Smallman here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required. Not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off Duration, Woodscapes, and Super Deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Back here on the Blitz, a Reaction Tuesday, reacting to the Spurs loss. But there's always time to talk a little Cowboys football as well. I'm Joe, he's Jason.
And let's do that with the great Charean Williams from ProFootballTalk.com joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And Charean, last night Spurs lose a tough one in a great defensive battle. And talking about great defenses isn't normally something we do with you because we talk a lot of Dallas Cowboys. Although I am curious, Peter Schrager tweeted out earlier today that new Cowboys defensive coordinator Christian Parker may be the most fascinating person in the NFL right now. Why? Is it because we don't know enough about Christian Parker?
I don't know if I would call him the most interesting person. I would say it's Mike Vrabel probably right now would be my answer to that, but for different reasons entirely. I don't know. I guess because you don't know what he's going to bring, how they're going to do, what's going to happen. I guess that's it. And people do think that he's got a bright future in the NFL. We're going to find that out, but that's what people believe, that he has a bright future in the NFL and a future head coach. But that's projecting. He's young. He hasn't done it yet at a coordinator level, so we're going to find out.
You know, Charean, that's interesting that you say that, and obviously right now he's enjoying the honeymoon. I mean, let's face it, he is, because he hasn't done anything good or bad. So, but I mean, he's a young guy. He's probably going to make a few mistakes, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. And they've improved their personnel. It's an adjustment to go from a 4-3 to a 3-4. And I started looking last night because I was on PFT Live today, and we had a 2-hour show and talked about their defense and how much they had improved or had not improved. And they're going to have, from opening day last year, now you have to remember DeMarvion Overshown was coming back from that knee injury, so he didn't start. But they had 3 starters that we project to be starters going into week 1 this year, barring injury. And so they've overturned that entire defense. You've got multiple players, not just 1 or 2 players. You've got multiple players changing positions. So it's a crapshoot. Like, they can say all they want that we're going to be better. They don't know that. No one knows that. Now, it's hard to be worse than what they were. They were historically bad, 511 points gave us the most points in franchise history. Historically bad defense. So it's hard to be worse than that. So I do think they're going to be better, but the question is how much better. And no one, not the Cowboys, not Christian Parker, not any of the starters can answer that question right now because no one knows. How are they going to adjust to the new positions? How's he going to be as a play caller? All of those things are going to play into it. But as we all know, they don't have to be a top 10 defense to be a contender. To me, they have to be in the top, 20, maybe 16, maybe the top half. Let's say 16. If they're a top 16, 17 defense, I think they win the division.
Middle of the pack, and I agree with you with that offense, especially if George Pickens is producing like he did last year. So, I mean, you're right. We don't know, but at the same time, they seem to have better players coming into this season than they did last year. And just the addition of Caleb Downs, the amount of pressure that's going to be on him to come in and perform at a high level right away, but they have better players, so I don't know. It's not crazy to think that we should expect them to be better.
Oh, I think we do expect them to be better. But again, how much better? I don't think there's any question about that, but how much better? Are they going to go from 32nd in the NFL to 30th? That's not good enough. 28th? That's probably not good enough. 20th? Maybe not good enough. How much better are they going to be with players changing positions, with a rookie back there? I mean, you're counting on Caleb Downs is going to be great. Is he going to be great as a rookie? I think long-term he is, but is he going to be great as a rookie? Again, an unknown to this. And, my neighbors and my people at the gym, I can't believe they got D. Winters for a 5th-round draft pick, as if the 49ers gave him away. Look, if he was any good, the 49ers would have kept him, okay? He's better than what the Cowboys had. He ain't good. He's not going to be great. He's not going to be an all-pro. He's not Fred. They didn't trade for Fred Warner. They traded for D. Winters, who the 49ers saw last year and go, you know what? This guy ain't good enough. We're going to go out and sign Dre Greenlaw, who really hadn't played in, a year and a half, 2 years? Whatever it is, since he's really played a lot since that Super Bowl. And when he had his injury jogging off the sideline. So they saw D. Winters and said, we're moving on from this guy. We've got our off-ball linebackers, and we're set, and he's not one of them. So they weren't just going to give him away for free to the Cowboys just because. There's a reason they gave him away to the Cowboys, because they didn't think he was good enough. Again, he's better than what they had, but you're counting on this guy who the 49ers gave away to be a really good player this year. So, again, he may be really good in this 3-4 defense. But it's unknown. So we start naming the unknown. How many unknowns have we just named? 10, 12, 15? How many of those are going to happen just like you want them? Is Caleb Downs going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year? If they are, I think the defense is going to be really good. Is D. Winters going to be really good? Is he going to be a Pro Bowler for the first time? If he is, then I think this defense is going to be really good. But, again, all those questions, it's just way too many questions right now to know exactly what they're going to be and how much improved they're going to be.
Boy, and I think that is the question. On paper, it looks good, but you're right. Until we see him on the field and perform, then we just don't know. Let me ask you this, Charean. Adoree Jackson at the Star today. Cowboys bring him in. What do you make of that? Is that simply looking for a little depth at that position?
Yeah. It is, and I have said when we were talking about D. Winters, I would go out and sign Bobby Wagner. Why not bring Bobby? If you can get Bobby Wagner for a good, why not bring him in? He can still play. B, it gives you another option. C, he's a great leader, great locker room guy, man of the year, all of those things. I mean, I would sign me a Bobby Wagner. I would sign, Adoree Jackson. If it's low-cost deals, what do you have to lose by bringing these veteran guys in for depth purposes, for locker room, all of those things? But I would really, and I know they've said, we really like our inside linebacker. We're going to give them a chance first. But I'm on the veteran bandwagon of, go sign somebody else and give yourself options in there. Give yourself some depth in there. So I like that. I hope they do sign him. And if you have to cut him, you have to cut him. We've seen them do that before, especially at that corner position. We've seen them bring in corners that they thought were going to be good, and they didn't turn out. Elam was the most recent case. of those guys they brought in and thought were going to be good, and they weren't. But that's okay. Like, you sign them to low-cost deals, bring them in for depth purposes. I like the idea of that, and I like some veteran inside linebackers, off-ball linebackers as well.
Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. I know I'm still looking for another linebacker, one specifically in Miami that I would like to see a trade. And Bobby Wagner makes sense if he's willing to come, like you said, on a cheap deal. But by everything I've seen, he's not cheap yet. Will that change after June 1st?
Maybe. Maybe it will. And maybe coming to the Cowboys, he would. I don't know. But it's something I would certainly pick up the phone and call. And, I think the edge rusher is another position. And, Jadeveon Clowney's not going to be cheap. But some of those guys in there, those veteran guys, I would have liked to have seen Dante Fowler come back. And I didn't read what the terms were today, but I would have liked to have seen him return just for depth purposes. Again, a veteran in there who's done it. Because it's really, let me just say, it's really hard to count on rookies, especially defensive guys, to come in and perform at a high level as rookies. It just doesn't often happen. Micah Parsons was the exception. I think we talked about this. Myles Garrett was the exception. Edge rushers, they don't come in and get double-digit sacks unless they're generational pass rushers. And these guys that they drafted are not generational pass rushers. So it's going to take some time. They're going to be better second year. They're going to be better third year. But right now, asking them to come in and be really, really good, it's not going to happen. It's just going to take some time for that to happen. So just lots of questions. Just lots and lots of questions. If they hit on them, if they're, 16, 17 in total, they don't have to be great, just middle of the pack. They're going to be good. They'll be okay. I like what they've done. They will be, let me just say this, they will be better in 2027 defensively than they are in 2026.
Interesting that you say that. Well, let's get back to 2026 because I was really surprised today looking at the Cowboys' schedule, especially their road schedule, Charean. It's brutal.
Tough.
And for a team that didn't make the playoffs, my goodness, the NFL's not doing them any favors.
Yeah, and they had, the third easiest, fourth easiest schedule last year, and they didn't do well against winning teams, playoff teams last year. But that went back to their defense. Again, we point to the defense because that's what it was. The defense just wasn't good enough, and they're going to be better this year, and they're going to be in those games because their defense is going to play better. We all think. Again, it's just how much better they're going to be. But, yes, the schedule is brutal. The schedule is absolutely brutal, but it's brutal for the Eagles, too. It's brutal for the Commanders, too. It's brutal for the Giants, too. And I especially think the Giants have improved a lot. I don't think that's going to be a cakewalk game. And I think all those teams right now may be better than the Commanders. A lot depends on Jaden Daniels and how he plays. But I certainly think that the Giants have improved a lot this offseason.
Make sure you follow Charean on Twitter at NFL Charean and read her at ProFootballTalk.com. We got to talk about real good defenses from the Spurs and Timberwolves, Charean. Appreciate you jumping on today.
Thank you, guys.
The great Charean Williams on the Buyers Barricades guest line where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
You know what I love about Charean? She's going to tell you the truth no matter what.
Yep.
Whether you want to hear it or not. Because while everybody's praising what the Cowboys have done, and they should, we just don't know.
Somebody needs to turn that into a shirt. Now, I saw a shirt earlier today that one of my favorite bands has, and Dave Grohl must have had Joe Reinagle in mind when the Foo Fighters, as they're getting ready, they got the new record out, and they're about to go on tour, and they're playing some of these smaller venues like they did the other night. And the Foo Fighters are selling a T-shirt that says, "Pull over, darling, I gotta pee."
I swear they've got a microphone in my car.
There is not a shirt made that's more appropriate for Joe Reinagle than this Foo Fighters shirt, or one that would say, "We just don't know."
Now, I would like to have both. Now, can you order that from the Foo Fighters?
You can.
You can?
You can.
I might have to get one of those.
I mean, it was for sale.
It was?
And so, I mean, yeah, you can buy it.
All right, well.
It's hilarious.
I think it's funny as hell, and it's accurate when it comes to me.
Well, and you call everybody darling, or every female darling.
Well,
but
come on, darling.
I
Or
mean,
shiny.
No. He doesn't say shiny to their name, to their face. He'll just call them shiny when talking amongst the guys. But if he sees, well, hello, darling.
Hello,
I mean,
darling.
I gotta pee. I mean,
I think that's ideal. It's perfect.
I mean, your wife hears that 3 times on a road trip to Houston.
Well, typically she's not driving, so I don't even ask. I just pull in. I said, darling, I got to go. And she understands. So it's, yeah. Sometimes that 3-hour trip to Houston turns into 3.5, 4. It depends.
Well, you stop at Buc-ee's.
Well, I always do
Although
that.
you said depends. I mean, if you had that, you wouldn't have to stop.
Dude, I'm not to the point where I'm peeing my pants just yet, okay? I'm not doing that.
Yet being the key word.
I am not going to wear depends.
You'd
just
save
yet.
so much time if you did.
I don't give a damn. I'll get out and go pee.
Uh-huh.
That's the beauty about being a dude. You can pee anywhere.
Well,
I recommend not at a school.
I mean,
well, you know what I mean. I mean, if you're traveling, it's like, you can pull over and find a tree.
Yep. You could.
You could.
Good Lord.
Yeah. We got to get out of here because is it Rangers baseball?
Wow, Rangers and
Rangers
Yankees.
baseball. How about that? We're live at Novo Brewery tomorrow. Make plans to come on out and see us. We're going to have some prizes to give away and stuff, and we'll get you ready for game number 2. The fellows in the morning, AJ and Rob at 6 a.m. Oh, my goodness. It is Cinco de Mayo. I hope everybody stays safe, but you got to have a beer. Have a great one.
This is RSN. Rangers.